Back to another edition of the Hard Count, breaking down everything in the football world. I'm here with my guy CJ. CJ, the people maybe off the rip already. Notice a little something different in the top right corner. Shout out, got the new logo. We'll have the new Twitter header, the profile picture, logo, all that. Shout out, Bree went to high school with her. Very talented, very very talented. She's doing her thing. So, you need any graphic design stuff? You let me know. I'll send her your way. But happy to have the new little redesign. I think everything's gonna look real good. Look a lot cleaner than it did before. A nice little rebrand going into the new year.
Facts. Thank you. Shout out to Bree for the logo. Appreciate it. Calm, nice logo. I got the number 9. Obviously, September kid. Okay. CJ on the back. Connor at 12. Brady.
Had to.
Connie. So, yeah, appreciate that, man. That means a lot. You look out, support, give us a logo. Let's get it.
Yeah, CJ, how we doing? How was Christmas? Everything? Santa was good.
Yeah, man. Everything is good. All is well. Family was straight. That's the best gift. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was good Christmas, man. What about you?
It was eventful. So it's the 23rd, not even Christmas Eve. I lose power, right? Cool, whatever. I lose power for like a couple hours. Power gets turned back on. I go back to my room. Said, "Damn, let me watch some TV. See what's going on." Go to turn the TV on. Nothing. Power surge cooked it. Cooked the TV. I got it plugged into a surge protector. All that TV was the only thing plugged in that didn't work. Everything else worked. So had to go out. Got a new one. Shout out the parents, of course. Christmas Eve, Con went to Nan's. She chefed it up. Come on, what are we talking about? Exchanged gifts with my brothers. Got some shoes. Got that little Infinity Gauntlet Lego set. First ever Lego set I had to build. Tested the kids' patience. Let me tell you.
Nice.
Tested my patience like you would not believe. But it's completed. It looks gorgeous. Christmas Day, went back to Nan's little late lunch. Santa was good. Got a nice little Patriot blanket. Soft.
Nice.
Very soft. So, thriving out here. We're thriving out here.
It's great to hear.
It was a good Christmas seeing everybody chilling, having fun. And now we have even more fun because we get to talk about the NFL. And it kicked off on Thursday Night Football. The Jags and the Jets. Zach Wilson, back again. And back to being the guy that I knew he was. He's not good at football. This is now listen, I'm not ready to say Trevor Lawrence is Peyton Manning, but if you want to make the comparison of the Ryan Leaf thing for Zach Wilson, oh yeah, it's getting there. He's awful. I mean, the offense just doesn't look the same with him. I feel like every other quarterback that they have put into this offense has run it maybe 5-10 times better. Every single one of them. Joe Flacco was throwing for 500 yards. Won a couple games. Mike White looks good. I mean, he doesn't. I think he's 0-2 as a starter, but they've been very, very close games, and the offense itself has looked better. They just haven't come out on top. And then who they bringing in this one?
Chris Streveler.
Yeah, Streveler. I mean, when he came in, the offense finally moved the ball. I'll tell you, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, he was moving.
Real, but the ball was being moved. It's more than Zach Wilson, you'd say. Now, a lot of it was because Streveler, kind of that Taysom Hill role, you can kind of see.
Yeah.
I don't know about how he is as a receiver, because obviously we know Taysom Hill over there at tight end can do his thing, but
yeah, he's more like Tebow. He's in that Tebow, Taysom Hill category. Yeah.
That read option was good. Him doing whatever, made a pass down the middle of the field to the tight end. I mean, should have been a wide open touchdown, but I don't know if it was underthrown or maybe the conditions, or maybe he thought, I saw on TikTok, a lot of people thought that he thought that the referee was another person because of the way he threw the ball. So, listen, people out there are saying whatever they want. But Jags come out on top, and because of a result later on in the week, which was the Titans losing, they're now in first place, and it's it's unbelievable. The Jets, oh how the mighty have fallen, so sort of. They looked very good for a long stretch of time, beating teams you didn't think they should beat, and then now I believe they're on a 4-game losing streak. So it obviously, like I'm saying, has not been very pretty. Zach Wilson is benched the rest of the year. Mike White is a starter going forward. They're not even dressing Zach Wilson. Not even going to dress him. So he's not even the backup. You got Joe Flacco as a backup, who the last time he came in against the Bills, I think the first play, turnover, fumble, and then after that, it didn't look good either. So that's what they think of Zach Wilson right now. Solid
Fourth string.
fourth string. Jesus. Solid after the game, has to say the right things of like
the second year, bro.
Hey, sometimes it doesn't work. Solid after the game, has to say the right things. Oh, I still see a future with him. Yeah, he still has to. Yeah, no, you do. I know you got to say it, but it's over. Bye. See ya. So, Zach Wilson will be playing somewhere else next year. If it's a starter, I don't know. If it's a backup, possibly.
If it's a starter.
All right, listen, CJ, you know that every team thinks that they can fix somebody.
So starter, bro.
Well, listen, I think that? No. But would I be shocked?
Where does he start right now in the NFL? Let's hear the team.
Texans. Davis Mills isn't good.
I guess.
I mean, the Texans.
Do they even count?
It's not like I don't think the Panthers love Sam Darnold. They've given away his job 4 times. But they have been winning, so
they wouldn't be successful because the defense is good. But if he was the quarterback of that offense, he'd give the football right back.
Like I said, I don't think he's very good, but there's going to be a team. They'll trade for him, think they can fix him. Maybe they have him sit behind somebody for a year, and then whatever. Maybe he just wasn't doing it in New York, and maybe he needs to play somewhere else, fresh start. You'll hear all the cliches of, you needed to go somewhere else, have that hard reset, whatever. I don't know. I just don't think he's very good at football. But the Jaguars came out on top. The Jets are out of the playoffs, and the Jags are in.
Yeah, the Jags are for real. They're playing great football. This is the time where you should be playing your best football, and that's exactly what they're playing right now. They have a head coach that knows about this time of year and how important this time of year is in regards to going into the playoffs and going on a run. Haven't won a Super Bowl, so they're going to follow his lead because he has the experience, and they want what he has, and he wants to get that with them. So this is it's going to be a motivated team going forward just off that concept alone. So. They're up. Their stock is skyrocketing, given the circumstances of how how we just continue to talk about the AFC and how dominant now we can enter his name into the fold, where we could see Lawrence, Herbert, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar potentially if he gets healthy.
Yeah,
we're talking about 5-6 quarterbacks under the age of 27, 28 years old that have a plethora of years left in the NFL. What are we talking about in terms of play and highlights and what's next that we're about to see? So this is a great time. Again, happy for Jacksonville Jaguar fans. They deserve this. They
need something.
They deserve a franchise quarterback. I'm happy for them. And they have a guy, and this is the spectrum of drafting a quarterback. You got the Jaguars and you got the Jets, where they failed. Unfortunately, they thought they had the guy. They did all the scouting. They felt like he was better than Justin Fields. I never saw it. I don't care what analyst told me. No analyst was gonna fool my eyes, and that's why it's very important, bro. I know you don't watch college football, but you putting your trust in these guys that call themselves jazz experts. They was comparing this guy to Aaron Rodgers. They were saying this guy has Mahomes-like ability, this and that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, Mahomes-like ability? And I saw the highlights. I saw a couple cut ups of his game, so passes, incompletions, completions, and things of that nature throughout his season. I was like, hey, he's good, but I didn't see Aaron Rodgers. I didn't see anything like that. Like I said, I saw Justin Fields go out and beat Trevor Lawrence in the college football playoff with cracked ribs.
Yeah. Yep.
But you're telling me he's an 11th pick and not the second pick? Or if any, the first pick? Obviously, the first pick is a given, and I'm glad it worked. Like I said, I'm glad it worked for Jacksonville. And we're gonna see this. It's starting now. We're seeing the beginning stages of the era, the AFC QB era. I guess it's not a cute name, but I guess down the road we'll find a fire name for it. But this is what it is. I mean, this is what we're about to see. We're about to see crazy quarterback play, shootouts, just athletic.
For a long time.
Athletic dual threat quarterbacks that could throw it far, that could check it down, that could run and get 7 yards, that could throw for 67 yards. It's about to be insane, man. I'm excited. And I just can't wait until the NFC catches up. And I have some points about that in regards to Dak and Hurts and some of these guys where they could, might want to capitalize on this time where they don't have the type of talent over there in that conference from a quarterback standpoint. This is the time. I promise you, them Cowboy fans is looking at that exactly what I just said. And looking at, Dak, this is a prime time for you at least to get to the Super Bowl. Brady's on the decline. There's no real threat at a quarterback position over there. Hurts obviously, but we haven't seen him in the playoffs yet. But we saw him in the playoffs, but that was without the weapons.
Baby Hurts.
Exactly. That was without the weapons.
Brown,
So it's just vital for that situation to present itself. So this is going to be an exciting time, and the Jets. I feel for them because they have a great defense, but their quarterback play is just out of pocket. It's just out of pocket, unfortunately.
Yeah, it really does seem like it is that QB renaissance, or the golden age, like everybody always says, for back in the day or whatever.
This is like 2.0. This is
absolutely level. Because listen, whether you like it or not, and you have your old heads, I feel like as any generation grows, the people that play that sport grow and are better than the previous one. So listen, the golden age of quarterbacks now is a whole different breed of golden age quarterbacks back then.
Exactly.
Like you have people that are able to run for a 20-yard gain if they really need to, even though, like a Josh Allen, or, there's Lamar who can break off 65, or Mahomes that can break off 10, and Herbert that can break off 10. And also, you need a 80-yard Hail Mary maybe? Okay, Josh Allen does that in his sleep. Mahomes does that in his sleep. Herbert does that in his sleep. So it's just a different time, man. It is. Yeah. It is absolutely unbelievable what these guys can do on the field, and we see it every week. I feel like every week I'm watching something. I said, "Wow, I can't believe he did that," or "I've never seen something like that." And it's a golden age, and so far it looks like the Jaguars have gotten there.
They're in the genesis stages of the reload.
If they were, artists or something like that.
Or the resurgence.
If they were an artist, the Bills and the Chiefs they already got their prime painting. They put that up at auction for $1 million. The Jags, they got their canvas. They got the canvas. They're getting started. They're drawing the outline right now because it does.
Bengals got a masterpiece too.
What was that?
Bengals got a masterpiece too.
Yeah, Bengals got a masterpiece. Obviously the Ravens, they're very happy with what they have.
Right.
If
this guy, I don't know if he's ever going to get it together, but if he could ever get it together over there in Cleveland,
yeah, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good, but hopefully, we'll see what
a long time out of your sport might do that.
A normal off season next year for him. We'll see what that looks like, see what that translates into next year. So, but yeah, either way it goes, it's stacked. It's stacked, and I'm happy for the Jaguars, and they're in this mix.
Yeah, they certainly are. And another team that's not only in the mix, but they're officially in the playoffs is the Baltimore Ravens. Doing all this without Lamar as well. Tyler Huntley was in this game, 9 for 17, 115, a touchdown. Gus Edwards, 11 for 99, so he had a nice game. Obviously, J.K. Dobbins back there as well, 12 for 59. Huntley had 26 rushing yards. And they just continue to win games. Obviously, you're playing the Falcons, not the biggest threat in the world, but, you're still winning games without your starting quarterback. And I do think that there's two sides. You think there's almost two sides to this for a Ravens fan itself, which I feel
Also,
because you want to see your team win, of course, but do you almost hope they don't do as good without Lamar because you want them to keep Lamar? And if maybe they do worse, let's say they continue doing good, right? And then the Ravens can go to Lamar and be like, "Oh yeah, well we did this without you." They lowball him. Lamar gets mad, trade.
You gotta remember, bro.
Kind of guy, but
push come to shove, they're gonna franchise tag him. You gotta remember that.
What if he refuses though? What if he pulls a Le'Veon Bell? I'm not playing.
I'm not playing. Then that's a different discussion. But obviously, if they couldn't come to a deal, that would have to be the plan B, at least from the Ravens side. Obviously, you can't just let him walk.
No, you're right. They're absolutely.
That would be literally. You might as well just
tag for sure. But I do wonder if Lamar looks at that franchise tag and says, "Are you serious? I got an MVP for you guys. You guys are providing me absolutely nothing my entire time here. You're gonna franchise me? Like, I wasn't making any money before, and you guys couldn't get me anything. Now it's finally time for me to get paid. So at least I'm getting paid while not getting anything offensive wise. And you guys are gonna franchise me? Nah, get me out of here, coach."
Right.
So, I wonder if there's any Raven fans out there that are like, "Damn, I'm happy we're doing good, but I hope this doesn't lead to some problems with Lamar." But anyway, that's a problem down the road. Ravens pick up a win, clinches them into the playoffs. It was either this win or last win or last week, but I believe it was this week that clinched them for a playoff berth. 17-9 over the Falcons. And, it was their typical game. They ran the ball. They played, some pretty decent defense. Desmond Ridder didn't look awful. 22 of 33, 218, 218, or like I said, 218 yards. Didn't throw a touchdown, but no interceptions as well. So obviously, you don't want people turning the ball over. Drake London, that rookie connection, 7 for 96. That was good. But, they obviously need some. I still can't believe the Falcons traded away Calvin Ridley. I know he got suspended for the year, but Drake London, Calvin Ridley, and Pitts, you would have been onto something, I feel. You would have been onto something. Because
I think it was just time, after that scenario, him coming back, it would have been a distraction. And, I think it was best to end that relationship.
I feel like I would happily be distracted if I was the Falcons with a wide receiver like that. But hey, I'm not a GM. Unfortunately, because if I was, I'd be making millions of dollars, and I'd be very.
Because you see now when he pulls up, it's less of a story because the Jaguars are winning without him.
Yeah.
So it's not when he comes back. It'll be a discussion early on, obviously, because he's coming back. But after that, that's it because they're winning. They're winning games. They're playing well without him. So people see how good of a team that they're going to be as they keep trying to build. But yeah, for the Ravens
next year when he gets there.
For the Ravens, it's they just fight. They just fight. That's they fight and they know how to close. They fight and they know how to close. Unlike the Patriots, they don't know how to close.
No, I've never heard of it.
And John Harbaugh is a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a coach. He's doing a great job with the squad right now. They're managing the defenses. Their defense is underrated. I don't think a lot of people are talking about their defense. What their defense has done in Lamar's absence, the stops that they've been able to get. Doesn't matter who they're going up against. you still got to get those stops. You still have to get those stops at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who you play. You still have to tackle that guy. It doesn't matter what their record is. You still got to make that tackle. You can't just, oh yeah. You assume they're going to blow them out because you assume they're going to make those plays. So you have to go make those plays. And that's what the Ravens are doing. That's what the Ravens are doing, man. Defensively, what they've been able to do. Special teams, we know that's going to be, diamond for them because that's Harbaugh's calling card, and they have one of the greatest kickers we've ever seen.
Yep.
So, and their punting team and their punt team is also great, and it's always been great. And the Falcons, they're just seeing what they have. This is a seeing what they have period for the Falcons. That's it. Let's just see what we have. Do we have guys we can build with? No, yes. And we move forward. And I think it was smart to get Ritter out there to give him some experience. Why not? Why not? Why you're gonna have him sit for the whole year and you're not? Yeah, when they were kind of in that, potentially in the mix a little bit, real quick. But once they took a couple L's, it's like, just put the young guy in there, let him get some experience, let him play, let him see where he's messing up, where he can improve at. Win or loss, these are just learning. These are lessons. These are wins and lessons for Ritter and this young squad. And but right now the Ravens, they're on a different mission. So hopefully, if Lamar could come back, and they could, with the defense how they're playing right now, with their run game, J.K. Dobbins is playing well. Gus Edwards is back. If Lamar could come back, he's healthy. Can't sleep on them. Now I know I've been on this show all year criticizing their weapons. And it's still a fact. I'm not changing. I'm not going to change my mind on that. But obviously, when you bring Lamar into the fold, regardless, you still have to. He's still a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he's on the field. So that's that. They're 10-5, and let's see what happens going forward with the squad. But it's going to be a difficult road because of everything we talked about earlier.
Why? People love FaceTime me while I'm in the middle of the show. I swear every time. No, it is going to be difficult road. The AFC it's hard. I mean, it looks like the Bengals could go back. We all know what the Chiefs can do. The Bills kind of getting into the swing of things right now. I mean, the Chargers made the playoffs, so we're going to see what Herbert does in the playoffs. And that's the thing too. The Chargers, we talked about all year. Well, at least I did. How they were the most injured team, blah, blah, blah. Had this many people on IR, this people doing that. They're getting healthy now. Now, obviously, we're going to have to see what happens with Derwin because that was a nasty hit. Got him ejected from the game, but he also got up real wobbly, so obviously got to hope that he's all right. But the Chargers are getting healthy at the right time. Obviously, the Dolphins are still in there. They're on a bit of a slide now, obviously, and Tua back in concussion protocol. But there's a lot of good teams out there in the AFC, and the Ravens are going to have to run through all of them, and they're going to have to do it without any home games unless, something crazy happens. They could somehow get a home game because obviously right now they'd be in the wild card and they'd have to go travel to whoever they have to play. But what a road it's going to be. Road it's going to be.
It's going to be a tough road. Before we get to the NFC real fast, to go to the AFC, also, Nathaniel Hackett got fired. The Broncos fired Nathaniel Hackett. That's really one of the top headlines of this weekend. They let him go. 4-12, 4-11. It was just looking bad. It was looking bad for the team and the front office who did not hire Hackett, deciding to let him go. Man, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there was going to be somebody that was going to take the downfall for it. It wasn't going to be Russ, obviously. And I love the people, cut him, trade him. We had this discussion last night. Josh was asking me if they think it's possible. It's not. It's absolutely not. I believe it's $108 million of dead cap space and 86 or something like that dead cap space if they trade him. 106 if they cut, 86 if they trade him. Not happening. You're never going to.
That shouldn't even be in their mindset.
No.
Even though he's having a terrible year, it shouldn't be in their mindset.
No.
Not
First
right now.
First of all, it's way too much money to ever have against your cap for some player that's not on your team. So that right there ends the conversation. And listen, I think that somebody had to take the downfall. I'm surprised because going into it, I didn't know that new owner didn't hire the GM. I didn't know how the whole situation worked. I couldn't remember what with everything.
Came in after, yeah.
But now, was the Russ trade also before or after the GM?
It was before, yeah. Everything was
Oh,
before.
everything was
Yeah.
before. Wow. So that is
But
kind
the extension was with the ownership, new ownership.
okay.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
it's still before. It's like still before the season, and obviously, you
yeah.
think, you're gonna have a better season than what they had. So yeah, it's still the same thing.
Gridiron, welcome back. Appreciate you always popping up.
Welcome, man.
I just agree with the firing Hackett before the end of the season. He needed to go, but firing before the end of the season is cold. Yeah. See, here's
Start your search early.
Yeah, you can start the search early, and I don't know. I don't really disagree with it, but I don't know. I guess I just don't really care that much of when they fired him because you knew it was going to happen.
Right.
It would be different, and I'll say this. Maybe not that I disagree with it. I think it was just pointless. Like I understand you start the search early, yeah, like you said, but I feel like firing a coach during the season is usually supposed to be like that hurrah, like let's change the team, uh, chart right now. Like we're going this way, we're going down, we got to go up. Well, like I feel like it's that corny. Oh, it's going to galvanize the troops type of thing. You fired him with 2 games left. Like, yeah, I guess, like you said, you start the search early, but I don't know. I feel like it was
Right.
pointless to fire him like 2 weeks before you can really start talking to anybody. Because that's the thing, you can't really talk to anybody right now, anyways, during the seasons, and you can't interview anybody until they're officially eliminated. So, what are you going to do? Just do more back? Well, yeah, you put air quotes around that. You're right.
Everybody's talking to agents and whatnot, bro. Like
True. So,
verbal commits. Like
somebody was going to, get
when you
canned for it.
when you hear Schefter and Rappaport say the candidates that are potentially an option, that's how you know. But yeah.
Yeah. But somebody was going to get canned for it. It just ended up being Hackett. And knowing everything I know now, definitely surprised that the GM didn't get fired as well. I mean, maybe it's just because the owner was like, well, you did trade for him, but we're also the ones that extended him. So it's kind of hypocritical, but I don't think owners ever cared about that anyway. So, maybe they give this GM another chance at hiring a head coach. And they figure out what happens next. But obviously, you got to fix Russell Wilson. You got him there until 28 or something like that. Maybe even
2028, yeah.
2027, 2028. So obviously, you're gonna have to fix him, or you're on for one of the worst contracts in the history of all sports. I think it was 160 something guaranteed. They give him a $50 million signing bonus. His average annual value is like 43 million. So it is it's a big contract.
Agent.
That's a big contract. And here's the other thing too. Like, I don't know how much, and maybe this is the other reason that the GM doesn't get fired. I don't know how much blame you can put on him because how many people were trying to trade for Russ? I mean, we heard multiple teams were interested in this and that, whatever. Like, obviously, nobody saw this coming. Like,
no.
I think there were a few people, oh, yeah, maybe Russ isn't as good as last year. And to me, it was just the fact that he was hurt. He came back early. And even last year, I still think he had like 3 interceptions and 20 plus touchdowns. So, it wasn't as bad as people were talking about. This year's been awful. I mean, it's just awful to watch. Thank God I was building my Lego set while watching that game, or else I would have really had nothing to do because that game was just an awful watch. But they're going to hire a new coach. People keep pointing at Sean Payton. I don't understand why they're doing that. The Broncos don't have any picks. They traded everything to get Russ. So you're going to have to trade first rounders, maybe multiple, to get Sean Payton. So obviously that's not happening. I don't know who. I think they had interviewed Eric Bieniemy. I know they interviewed like Gerard Mayo as well. I think you need to find an offensive coach and hope that. And then offensive coach, sit down with Russ. What do you like to do? Listen, buddy, we need you to use your legs a little bit more like you used to do. I think those are the conversations that are going to have to be had. And then you sit down into a corner, pray, and watch with one eye open to see if everything gets fixed.
Yeah, they need to build their team they need to build their team to a power run team. That's how they have to build their team. If they build their team that way, they're going to be successful. Because you look at the other teams in that division, all of them are more pass heavy.
Yep.
Herbert, Carr, Mahomes. So if they become the power run team in the division, they could get some wins, take time off the clock, do things like that, play it safe. Wilson's going to have to change his playing style. I've never seen anything like this before. A guy, just go from, really good to, had a, injury plagued season last year, to give him a pass to completely unwatchable in one season.
I mean, maybe Peyton.
What do you mean?
I mean, he was good he was good the year before in Denver.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. But not like this, though. But not this bad. Not 4-11 and
no, they won the Super Bowl.
But yeah, so it wasn't to this level, and he's not in his, and he's still 33, 34.
Yeah, 34.
So we've seen guys still play at a high level at that age, at the quarterback position. So it's confusing on what happened. That'll be a interview for the ages. If someone could get with him and have a discussion with him and ask him, like, what happened this season when it's over, when the season is done, like, what happened this year? And I don't really get too much into like people say he's corny. I don't really care too much about that.
Definitely.
But if he's not, but if it's just about what the team thinks about him. Is he a leader? Is he a guy that people want to follow? In terms of trying to win games, that's all that matters. If he's corny or whatever, I mean, that's a lot of people that way. But if he's a good leader, he's a good teammate, none of that matters. So that's going to be a big search. They could go defense. D'Amico Ryans should be a candidate. I don't know if he's going to get the job, but I agree they should go off or get an offensive. I think they need to get a better, like an established guy. To me, I mean, you could go the young offensive mind route. You could, but you just try to do that with Hackett. So if you go 0 for 2 with that, I mean, you're really setting your team back. You're really setting your team back. So this is a big search. Bieniemy is a good option. He has Colorado connections. He went to the University of Colorado, was a star there at running back. It could be, he has AFC West ties, obviously, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. People question, is he calling the plays? Is it Reed? People do that. That's what they're doing. They're saying, is Andy Reid calling the plays, or is it Bieniemy? Is he really the offensive genius, or is it Andy Reid doing that? So we don't know. We're gonna find out. Byron Leftwich, their offense is not playing great for the Buccaneers, but he is a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
does have that on his resume. So there's some options out there, but it's gonna be a key search. I think it was important for them to really start early. They need to do their homework now. They really do, because this is a big hire. I just don't see him leaving Michigan. It just doesn't make any sense.
Money talks, though. Richest owner in the NFL.
Nah, I mean, I hear that, but what he's doing right now in Michigan, I think is definitely, if they win a national championship, then maybe he might leave. But even if they do, it's like you're building a powerhouse at Michigan in the modern era. You go down as a legend, automatically, off the rip. You build Michigan into a powerhouse in the modern era, you're getting statues. So, and you have more control when you're a college coach. That's really why these guys like going to college. You have more control. It's really your school. It's your school.
Yep.
It's your school. You have all the power, really. I mean, as long as the executive presidents and the AD, they give you the green light, and you're bringing in a crazy amount of revenue, you're pretty much running the school.
You're not wrong there.
You're the Don. So it's gonna be important for them to get this right.
It absolutely is. Well, it was important for the Lions to get a victory. They did not. They got absolutely walked all over. Panthers 37-23 over the Lions in Carolina, and it was just amazing watching the Panthers run the ball. I mean, Deontay Foreman, 21 carries, 165 yards and a touchdown. Chuba Hubbard, 12 carries, 125 yards. I mean, they did whatever they wanted to do when it came to the running game against the Lions front. They had 320 rushing yards. 320. I mean, and they added 250 yards passing. So it's not like that's a terrible day passing the ball either. That's pretty damn good. 570 total yards. So they had an unbelievable day against the Lions defense, which had been playing a lot better as of recently. On this little win streak that they had gone on, I think they were only giving up about 20 points per game. The whole team was just playing better. Jared Goff, 25 or 42, obviously not really that great there with the accuracy. 355, 3 touchdowns, but I mean, you look at it, they were down a lot in the game. So it's almost one of those, yeah, you did a lot, but did it matter type of situations?
Spooky on the road, man.
It's like calling, it's like scoring 30 points, but you lose by 50. So it's like you were in with the backup, player. So
yeah, no one cares. No one cares about that 30 points. Exactly.
So that 355 or whatever it was, 335, I don't remember. 355, I guess. Cool, but he got blown off the field and definitely hurts them. I think if they won this game and some other things happened, I don't know if they would have been in the playoffs this week or their playoff chances would have just continued to increase. I think they had to win out, I feel like, to make the playoffs, but I'm not completely sure.
You're talking about the Lions, right? Or the Panthers?
No, the Lions.
Yeah, they need some help. Yeah, they're going to need help. Now they're going to need help.
Yeah, now they need the help. I mean, when you get to this point in the season, all the different scenarios, it's hard to keep track of everything. But, I mean, listen, the only true story of this game was the fact that the Panthers could do whatever they want, on the ground. And, next week is kind of for the season when they play the Bucs. See if they can repeat that. Obviously, the Bucs are supposed to be much better against the run. But over 300 yards rushing?
Insane.
I mean, that is unbelievable. I think they had over 200 yards at halftime. So, I mean, I guess in the second half it got better. I was watching that game, and I wasn't watching it, tentatively, but, it's on there. I'm kind of want the Lions to do good, whatever. And they flashed the graphic up real quick. I had to fix the glasses, maybe, breathe on them a little bit, clean them off. I said,
check them out. It was looking
crazy. I got to get a new prescription because there's no way that says over 250 yards at halftime, right? And it did, and it continued. I mean, you're talking about people. I mean, Foreman averaged 8 yards a carry, 7.9. Chuba Hubbard averaged 10.4 yards a carry. That doesn't happen. I mean, well, apparently it does, but it's not supposed to. I'll tell you that. So I was all excited for the brand new Lions. This was the same old Lions game, but hey, you bounce back. Steve Wilkes, as Gridiron says, is 5-5. He's vying for that. Taking that interim tag off. Maybe they found themselves a new head coach. Obviously he kind of got done dirty with the Cardinals. The 1 year there with Josh Rosen, and then they immediately move off of Josh Rosen and him, hire Kingsbury and Kyler and draft Kyler Murray first overall. So maybe he's vying for that head coaching job, and if they make the playoffs, he's damn well earned it. I'll tell you that. I mean, even if they don't, he's giving people some nice tape out there of why I should be the one that you hire and not some other schmuck.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job given the circumstances, given the same exact roster as Matt Rule. Same roster. Nothing's changed. And he has those guys playing great football right now. You got to give him a lot of credit. This is a big win for them. They're alive in this playoff hunt now with this W. The Lions, like you said, this was the same old Lions game. They went back to the old ways. We know how Jared Goff performs on the road. It speaks for itself. That's such a crazy discrepancy of quarterback play from home to road. And this is what I keep trying to tell you, man. They need that X factor on the center route that to where those numbers are the same throughout anywhere.
Evenly distributed.
Exactly, evenly distributed. And this was an example of it. Now, yeah, like the numbers are good. Those are the garbage numbers. You got to, you're trying to come back, so you got to pass the ball. That's obvious, but just it's a tough L for the Detroit Lions, and big W for the Carolina Panthers, who trying to stay alive in this with the Saints and with the Buccaneers for that NFC South division title. All those teams are right there in the mix with similar records.
Yeah, it's
Oh, and Dan Campbell after the game was like, you did a great job, of kicking our ass, telling Steve Wilkes that he did. That was respect. They came out there, and he has a great record at home. His record, I think 4-1. I think they're 4-1 at home, something like that. So this guy Steve Wilkes deserves some credit, bro. You just started putting his name out there for these candidacies for head coaching jobs. So, are we talking about results, right? Winning, right? Isn't that's the ultimate goal?
That's what matters.
Then that should. Then if that's the ultimate goal, and if that's what you're doing, that's what should be looked upon. Straight up, right? All right.
That's what they tell me. The Bills and the Bears. This was another smackdown, kind of like the Panther game. Bills came out and with a 35-13 win. I mean, negative 12 degrees over there in Chicago. It was the whole weekend was kind of ruined by the bad weather. There were definitely some questionable performances from some players this week, but hey, when you're outside playing in negative whatever temperatures, I don't really blame you as well. I mean, I do blame everybody on my fantasy team for having me projected 140 points in my semifinal game, and I didn't even score 70. I was projected 140. Didn't even score 70 points. There goes my $500 pot. But anyway, I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset. Not even angry at all, if you can tell. So we move on. But Josh Allen, 15-26, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, did throw 2 interceptions, which, that was a problem for a little bit. He kind of fixed it, and then this game it came back. They still win very easily, so I guess it's not as big of a problem, but you do that against better teams, do that in maybe better weather conditions, that equals the losses. And I had that same energy for Dak, so I'll keep it for Josh Allen. You got to fix those things. Can't be turning the ball over. Turn the ball over, you give your defense bad field position. Defense gets tired because they got to play more possessions. It all adds up over the course of the game as well. So obviously that needs to be fixed, but I guess you could afford to turn the ball over a couple of times when you're playing the Bears. Maybe not for long, though, because we're up on Justin Fields. And especially if he can actually have some talent around him, that would really help. But they ran the ball well in this game, which is another thing that we've been begging for them to do. Devin Singletary, 12 for 106. James Cook, 11 for 99. Josh Allen ran the ball a few times, 6 for 41. So they're finally, kind of doing the things that they need them to do. What do we always hear as Patriot fans? When it gets late into the year, you got to be able to run the ball. So the Bills are trying that whole run the ball thing instead of just make Josh Allen be Superman on every play. And well, in this one, it obviously worked. And you go over to the Bears side of things. Justin Fields was 15-23, 119, a touchdown. Only rushed the ball. I mean, I say only for a quarterback, still a lot. He rushed the ball 7 times, but only had 11 yards on the ground. So obviously it was not that big a running day for him, which is kind of what we've come accustomed to over the past few weeks and everything like that, because, they've turned him into a running quarterback. I guess he didn't do that a lot at Ohio State from what I've been told. No. But yeah, well, in the NFL, it looks like they're going to make him do that, and it's made them a lot better. But, Bills needed this one because it keeps them right in pace with the Chiefs, who they obviously have the tiebreaker over for that number 1 overall seed. Obviously, they got a big game coming up this week on Monday Night Football, which might be the game of the year. Very, very possible. And I'm not going to go over the Holden Bears thing that I do every week. We'll see what they do. We know what they're going to do. They're going to draft. They're going to spend their money in free agency. They're going to try and build around Justin Fields. They got some things to fix up. And for the Bills, this is kind of one of those wins where it's like, okay, we beat a bad team by a lot. We're supposed to do that and move on. I feel like, are you happy you win? Absolutely. But is it something you're like, wow, nail that up on the chalkboard, really did good? That's the Bears. Calm down.
Facts.
So you don't get too high. And, well, there's no reason to get too low because you won.
Yeah, this is just another big win. This is a big statement. And it just makes sense, too, to run the football around this time. It gets colder. Teams don't want to throw the football. Yeah, the wind. But also on the flip side, the fumbles. When you start running the football, the fumbles start to increase as well.
Thanks, Ramondre.
And you tell it,
yeah, sorry.
Unfortunately, man.
Slip the tongue.
But yeah, so that's what these defensive coordinators are telling their players. I'm like, okay, cool. Y'all want to run the football? All right, let's start punching this football out. If they want to try to get those extra yards,
hold them up.
Peanut Tillman, yep, hold them up. Peanut Tillman, man, all day, and you're gonna start to see some of that even more often. And we saw a few of that. We saw that in a few games, some outside, some also in domes as well, because that's what just teams want to do now. They want to run that football. They want to get the rock. So the Bills did a great job of that. They did a great job of that in this game. Like you said, this is what we wanted to see for a long time. And if they're able to get this going and complement with their passing game, it's going to be scary. Josh Allen was struggling for a little bit, so it was good that they got something else for them to be the catalyst for them winning this game outside of just being Josh Allen. And I think that's just going to make them better as a team, and we'll see how it plays out going forward as we get close to the postseason.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the AFC. AFC playoffs is just going to be a magical thing. I really hope it doesn't let me down because every time I get excited for something like a big game or something like that, it's always a slogfest. I don't think
you want to see. Nah, I don't. Yeah,
I don't think it's possible with these teams with how good the offenses are and everything. I'll be very disappointed if I'm all excited for this. And all of a sudden, the Bills Chiefs play each other and it's like 17-10. I'll be very sad, very very sad.
Yeah, I think it's impossible. It's impossible just because the quarterback play. It's too good. It's too good right now, and even the mid quarterbacks like Geno Smith and Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, those guys, and those guys, the Kirk Cousins, that Derek Carr, those tier of quarterbacks, even they could put up a bunch of points as well. So we're just in that era right now.
Well, it's a new era for the Browns. I don't think it's exactly going the way that they planned it. Definitely not. Listen, we knew it was going to be rough for Deshaun when he got back, but even me, who expected that, I thought maybe first game back against the Texans was a beautiful game to come back because the Texans are bad. It might still be a little bit rough, but not that bad because the Texans, right? No, it was bad. It was bad. It's been bad ever since then as well. And I mean, even in this game, you go look at the stats. Deshaun was 15 of 31, 135 yards, no touchdowns, an interception. Did rush the ball 3 times for 24 yards and had a rushing touchdown, but it's certainly not off to the start that the Browns fans and honestly team obviously wanted it to be. I think they gave him 230 guaranteed.
230, yeah, 240, yeah, 240 guaranteed, yeah.
$240 million.
Shout out his agent. Shout out his agent.
For him, coming off the suspension, not even knowing what's going to happen, and you got 240 guaranteed.
Shout out his agent.
I think agents usually get about 2% of the contract or something like that. He needs like 5, 8.
I think it's like 8 or 10, 8 to 10, something like that. I think it depends. I think it's like around 8 to 10. Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, he ain't getting enough. But bad.
He is gonna go down as one of a top agent, just off that alone.
Have to. Bad for Deshaun. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't much better for Andy Dalton, but you're Deshaun Watson. You're not exactly supposed to be shooting for Andy Dalton stature here. And he was only 8 for 15, 92 yards, threw an interception. Alvin Kamara was 20 carries, 76-yard touchdown. Taysom Hill, 9 carries, 56 yards and a touchdown, and that accounted for all of their scoring. I mean, only 3 touchdowns scored in the entire game, obviously. All on the ground. Once again, brutally cold. I understand that. 156 passing yards. I mean, I don't know when you start to exactly panic. I'd probably wait for next season because, like we said, maybe this year it's just going to be rough the whole time. Next season, you get the summertime and everything where they're going to be shirtless in Maui, throwing around the football, talking about Deshaun Watson always getting in work with his receivers in the offseason. That'll be an Instagram picture. I'll guarantee you $100 right now. Then they'll go through, training camp and everything like that. They'll have the preseason, so they'll have much more time to get, I guess, acclimated to each other. But it's rough right now. So far, Deshaun's playing down to the Browns' level instead of elevating them to his level. I wouldn't expect much for the rest of the season, but we all know next year it's on. But yeah, listen, I feel like this would be much more disappointing for the Browns if they had a playoff chance, but they did bad without him.
Well, if they came back and expected him to get some W's, they'd be in a good spot right now.
So what? They beat the Browns. They beat the Texans.
That was it.
That's it since he's come back?
Yep. Lost to the Bengals, lost to the Saints.
Oof. I mean, yeah, they'd be sitting at 8-6, right? No, 8 and whatever, 8-7. They'd be sitting.
If they were able to get this one, they'd be 7-8, and right in the mix. I mean,
yeah, but if they won every game since he came back, I'm saying they'd be.
Remember, they got that win over the Jets. The Jets got that win.
Yeah, they lost
to the Jets.
Game,
all right, yeah,
which was just putrid.
So yeah, they would need help. They would need the Jets to lose out because again they got the tiebreaker. But yeah, I wasn't expecting too much. I wasn't expecting him to come in to save the season, things like that. It's going to take some time. It's definitely going to take some time. And like you said, this offseason, it's going to have a normal offseason. Granted, he put this all on himself, so I don't feel bad for him by any means. But yeah, so it's going to be something he has to deal with. He has to adjust. We'll see how he responds. We'll see how he overcomes these obstacles that he placed upon himself. It's going to be an interesting story. It's an interesting story, an interesting part of his career. We're going to see how it plays out. Saints got it done. They're trying to stay alive as well in this playoff chase in the NFC. NFC is very top heavy. Outside of San Fran, Philly, Minnesota, Dallas, it's all in outside of those 4 teams. Everybody else is just up in the air. It's a whole bunch of 7 and 8, 6 and 9s.
A lot of mid.
8. A couple 8, 5, 8 and 5. A lot of mid. Exactly, a lot of mid to below, slightly below mid, in the NFC. And again, that has to do because of the lack of talent at quarterback. So. And the Saints are in that category, so that's why they're a couple of those games where you might have watched them and they lost. They might have won those games if they had a better guy in the center. But Dennis Allen's doing the best he can with the quarterbacks that's given to him right now. The defense did a great job holding under 10 points. It doesn't matter what the weather is. Just, again, you still got to go out there and get it done on the road. In Cleveland, it's not an easy place to play. It's not an easy place to get stops. That crowd is rocking and have big momentum. So credit to the Saints. Big W for them. Big W.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I guess it does keep them there. I mean, they obviously need some things to break their way, and I think they have to win out, obviously, and they have to play the Eagles this week. Spoiler alert for the pick segment. Don't think that one's going to happen. But hey, any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday, we would say. What's up with Jameis? Is he done for the season?
I would think so.
I mean,
if they felt like he was going to be a guy in their future plans, he would have came back by now, right? Because he got hurt and then he got benched, right?
Remember he made the comments that he was like, "Oh, you're not supposed to lose your job to injury or whatever." Well, all right, this ain't man, brother.
See, you should have never said that. And I
Yeah,
think I came on here too, and I was like, bro, like you got to go out and earn your spot. You didn't just. It wasn't a given like, oh yeah, when this guy comes back, he's gonna be the starter. No, you didn't earn that.
I mean, listen, James isn't very good anyway, so it's really extra to me that he says that. I mean, maybe if this is, prime Aaron Rodgers, and all of a sudden Jordan Love went on a little bit of a run, and they were like, "Yeah, Aaron, take an extra week." He could come out and say like, "I thought you weren't supposed to lose your job because it's Jameis Winston, 30 for 30."
Right.
I mean, what are you talking about here? And I'm not even
so,
talking about the good ESPN 30 for 30s.
So the Saints
30 for 30 on is 30 for 30. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this.
I see where you're going. So the Saints, they're really like the Buccaneers. I mean, they're like the Buccaneers in that they just promoted their coordinator to head coach, but everything stayed the same. Offense stayed the same offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, everything stayed the same. So, but the difference is one team has Brady, so they can win some of those close games sometimes.
Andy Dalton.
And the other one has Andy Dalton, where they were able to get this W in a possession game, close one possession game, but sometimes that's not always the case with him because he can be inconsistent. So, good win for New Orleans, and we'll see how it plays out. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild.
Somebody has to win it.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, honestly, I feel like the NFL should just go to the. You know what? I think all sports. You keep divisions because you don't want people, traveling across the country all the time, whatever. Take the 16 or whatever half is or whatever how many people you want in the playoffs, best teams, and just seed them 1 through whatever, and then have them play. Listen, I enjoy Tom Brady. That's my guy, obviously.
But they look at it as like
doesn't if they win out, they'll be a 9-8 team. They really got to have a home playoff game, really. I'm good.
Because they view division as like the region, and you know what I mean. Like they view division as the region, and if you win that region, you deserve to have a home game.
Well, how about an automatic playoff win, an automatic playoff bid, but not a home game?
So where's the game going to be at?
Like I said, you don't have. So if you win your division, you're automatically into the playoffs. The rest are technically wild cards, but when we get to the playoffs, it's reseeded.
So whoever has the best record. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that too. And I mean, it's very possible they could go down that route. That's kind of what could be likely.
I mean, they already reseed in the playoffs anyway. The number 1 seed always plays the lowest seed, and whatever other team plays the next. You know what I mean?
It's kind of the same thing. But then again, like you're just taking away what's important of winning the division.
No, you automatically make it to the playoffs. That's important.
It's important. It's important. But then also you get that home field. That home field too.
I know what you mean. Listen, it's never going to happen. So
that's
I don't
clutch.
think worry about it.
It could change. It could change.
I'd like to, but I just don't. I really like it. I think, like I said, I think all sports do. I don't think it's just an NFL problem. But I mean,
you could go best record, but
I would just like to see at one point the 12, 11, 15, 27, 32 best teams all ranked in a row, top whatever, make the playoffs and go on from there. No divisions, no nothing. I think it'd be very fun.
No divisions. I mean, that takes away the all the historic and classic divisional games that we talk about today.
I don't think it takes it away because
what we're gonna do is just talk about how they used to be divisional games, but now they're not.
Exactly.
So it's like that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying you're taking away the whole history. Like you can't count it towards a divisional game because you took it away. So I see the traditionalists and I see the progressive type side, and I mean for me it doesn't. Just from a traditional standpoint and how how we grew up in the game of football, I get that. But am I gonna completely outcry and get mad if they changed it? I'm not at all.
Sometimes history is boring. Okay, I can only learn about the invention of the light bulb so many times, CJ. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. But it's good.
It's kind of depressing because on paper, Jameis Kamara, Olave, I know what that's supposed to be. Thomas Olave, yeah, it's exciting to me. Sucks we never got to see it.
Injuries,
and anytime Jameis is the quarterback, I was not excited. I just don't think another one.
Yeah, but everything
opportunities. I don't think he's very good.
You look at all of those players, all of them got hurt. Every single one of those players that go down just
Kamara honestly just hasn't been the same this season. In all honesty,
he's played well. He's played well this year.
But I mean, hasn't been
given the fact that all they're gonna do is load up the box because they have nobody else on offense. Yeah. They got a couple okay guys.
Michael Thomas right off the cliff, probably.
It's over. I mean, I don't want to say it's over, but
it's getting there. I'll tell you that.
It's sad. I'll say that.
No way, underdogs versus ringers in the playoffs. Duke single elimination winner is the last one that still has 22 minutes standing. I mean, hey, little gladiator stuff, and I mean left standing.
Left standing, yes. 14 make it. So
take the top 14 teams, 1v1 death match. That's the Super Bowl champion. Back to the gladiator days of Madden. Moving on to the Seahawks and the Chiefs. Another kind of a blowout. I mean, 14-point win here. I consider that almost a blowout. Not really because only 2 possessions, but sometimes games just don't feel that close. Geno Smith, 25 of 40. Once again, not great with the accuracy. I don't think anybody was really that great this weekend because of the cold and everything. But, hey, you got to play outside. 215, 1 touchdown interception. Kenneth Walker had a big game, though, 26 for 107. DK 7 for 81, so he didn't do too bad himself. And then, well, we all know what the Chiefs can do. Mahomes was 16 of 28, 224, 2 touchdowns. Pacheco was 14 for 58. Travis Kelce, what else is new? Had a big day, 6 for 113. And then everybody else, honestly, not too much. I mean, Pacheco had 32. That was only on 1 catch, though. McKinnon had 31. Juju had 27, and then a lot of single digits. So not the offensive explosion, but hey, still putting up 24 points. Play-in tournament in the NFL would be fun. It'd be, I got to see how you would work that in. But Mahomes MVP, he's gonna win it now.
I feel like the division is the tournament. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like trying to win the division is the play-in tournament. You got 4 teams in one group trying to win that group. That's a tournament. That's a play-in tournament, bro.
Yeah, but they can't just say that for every sport. Because doesn't the NBA, whoever wins the division gets in the playoffs?
But they don't count. They don't really value divisions like the NFL does. They care more about the conference, just the conference alone. You never hear people say North Division champion. They'll say you're Southeast Division champion. No one says that in the NBA.
Only in the stadium when you get to hang something.
Exactly. Yeah. Only when it's time. Exactly. Only when it's time to put it up in the rafters. That's it. Other than that, no one talks about it. NFL. We constantly talk about the division. So something there's already a play-in tournament in the NFL already, bro. That's what I mean. It's
listen, I'm
trying to
add some different things here. They added the extra wild card. Might as well play for it.
What was the Charger Raider game? That was to play for the wild card spot.
Yeah, but that's only because it came down to the last game of the year. I mean, so happy the Chargers
play better during the season. You are playing for it. You playing throughout the season.
So do you like the NBA play-in tournament then? Because you can say the same thing about the NBA. You should have played better during the regular season. You shouldn't have had to go to the play-in.
That's what I'm saying. I was cool. I was cool with keeping it the way it was. And I like bringing in a new idea and then making it interesting. Now you just like top 6. Now it's instead of top 8, it's the top 6 is more important now. Yeah, you look at the play-in, but you care about 7 through 10, but not as much as the top 6. It's going to end up being this. It's going to be the same thing either way you slice it. We're just going to decipher.
We'll realign the NFL. How many teams make the playoffs? You said 14?
14, right.
All right, so what? The top 10? And then,
it's top 14 teams.
Top 10 are safe. Bottom four have to play the other four teams, the next four teams from the play-in tournament.
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah, something like that. That would be the equivalent of that for the NFL. Exactly. I mean, listen, if they were to try that for a year,
the next couple of years, I'm suing because I put it out there.
Yeah,
December.
I'm pretty sure they
10, 11 p.m. I'm still just saying.
Hey, I'm open. They're open to any ideas.
I am looking for a job too, by the way, NFL.
Facts.
Just graduated, so if you need anybody, a little production assistant, maybe an on-air talent. I've seen Terry Bradshaw read highlights. I can't be any worse. So
yeah, man, look out for my guy. Man.
So hey,
I knew the Seahawks were gonna lose this game the moment I saw those receivers out there with no shirt on. I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, yep, they're gonna lose.
You're trying too hard. You're trying way too hard.
It's a jinx, man. It's a jinx when they do that all the time. Max Crosby did the same thing.
Bring the 1979-86 Oakland Raiders, the ones who had brass knuckles and roids.
Yeah, those Raider teams were
just different. Win, baby.
Yeah, those Raider teams, those Tom Flores Raider teams were wild.
John Madden.
Oh yeah, the John Madden ones were it was crazy. Different type of league. But yeah, the Seahawks, they just Geno's trending the wrong way. It's unfortunate.
$30 million, huh? Not happening.
Nah, not at all. No, not even close. Not even close. Maybe still 20s, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why. Listen, he doesn't have the same type of teams that Garoppolo had on the 49ers.
No,
he doesn't have the same type of team. So if that's his tier, then that's I feel like 20 to 22. Yeah, you gotta drop it down on how they play, of course.
5K yards doesn't excite you, Connie? You're talking about Jameis, I assume? Or I don't know. Who are we talking about? 5K yards? Maybe Mahomes? I don't know. 5K yards, cool. Unless you're talking about Jameis because they got 5K with 30 for 30. That doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's just it's unfortunate. They're trending the wrong way, and some of these other teams are sneaking up, taking their spot. Commanders, Giants have done that. Done a great job of doing it. Packers, they got some work to do. It was tough. Lions and Vikings, last two games, tough. Those are good. This is what I'm saying. And those are division games. You cannot take away the division.
I already said you keep the division.
You cannot take away the division.
You keep the division. All division winners are automatically in.
Can't do it, bro. It's impossible. You see how those games are just magnified, bro.
Yeah, but it's only. Let me be devil's advocate. It's magnified for the wild card. It's not magnified for the division or.
But they don't like each other, and they saw each other earlier. One team lost already.
Hey, the Ravens hate the Titans. That's not a division.
It's not. I mean, it's not.
We've seen.
It's a rivalry. Yeah, it's a rivalry. Because how they went at it in like the late '90s, early 2000s.
Even the last 2 years. The logo stomping, the knocked out of the playoffs, and then they come back to it the next year. Yeah,
it's definitely, but it's not the same.
I know what you mean. I'm just trying to be an ass.
Yeah.
I'm very good at it.
And it's a competitive division too. Like the Lions aren't a walkover anymore. And the Bears, they're not great, but they're not great yet. But they play well. So and then the Vikings are right there, and they're always right there with the Packers. And now it's just in reverse. So yeah, it's just the divisional games are so lit, and we're gonna see what happens with the Seattle team, how they respond. These next 2 weeks. They're going to have to play well. They got to lock in. And for Kansas City, it's just continuing to get dubs going forward to try to get this number one seed, try to get that home field advantage. You need that. That also, when you add the seventh team in the playoffs, right? You make that number one seed so valuable. So valuable. Because before it was like, 1 and 2 seed. That's okay. If you don't got the number one seed, that's okay. We got the number 2 seed. We got the same type of value as a number one seed. Home field advantage, first round bye. Like that's terrible. That's not how it's supposed to be. So now, yeah, that number one seed is so valuable, bro. So, the Chiefs, they did a good job. It wasn't pretty by any means, but they did what they needed to do and got it done.
Yeah, I mean, they just have to keep winning, and I think that they have a pretty easy schedule to close out the year. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I don't think it's difficult. I thought I remember seeing that. Bills have to play the Bengals this week, and obviously they could very easily lose that game, and Chiefs win out. Even if the Bills were to win the next game after losing this one, they would the Chiefs. Well, welcome back to Arrowhead, everybody. Going there for the AFC Championship game again because you assume they get that far, but then again, you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, easy win for the Chiefs. Kind of expected. Seahawks are trending, like you said, in the wrong direction. Geno, so much was there, and it's all kind of faded away. It's not exactly gone. I won't say it's gone, but you miss the playoffs and you do this and you do that. It's almost like a waste. Not for him because he'll get paid again, but it's like what could have been situation.
Yeah, it hurts his value. It does. It definitely hurts his value. But he missed the layup. Wow. But he's like you said, he's gonna get some bread. He's gonna get at least 20 mil.
Yeah, I would say it's possible to sign a quarterback for less than $10 million now if they're starting.
Yeah, if you want him to be a starter, you need at least 20 mil, man.
Yeah, so
that's what we're asking.
I don't think Geno's going to be starving anytime soon.
No, not at all.
I propose a truce, Pats boys. You beat the Dolphins. We talked to the Bills to slip up a bit for you guys to slip by a win, to slip by with a win, and we beat the Dolphins. So it's a true AFC East because Miami will flake. Then come playoffs, may the better team win. Hey, we've already got you twice this year, so I'm all good with that. I mean, why wouldn't I expect us to win the third time? Then again, we have to beat whatever.
We have We have one of the worst offenses in NFL history. That's why. And Zach Wilson's not their quarterback.
Yeah, it's true. That's right.
That's why. That's why you think we could lose for a third time. Exactly.
Maybe one of the biggest busts in the history of the NFL isn't the quarterback anymore. You got to kind of worry.
Right.
What a lost year. Well, it hasn't been lost for the Vikings. And honestly, even with the loss, it hasn't been lost for the Giants either. Giants come out on top 27 to 24. I don't know why when I said 27, I thought I said 67 in my head, and I was like, wow, I'm really stroking out here. But 27-24 win. They beat the Giants on I believe it was a 61-yard field goal by Greg Joseph.
Yep, 61-yarder.
I don't know if I might have been the longest in the Vikings history. Man, I still cannot believe all those years ago.
That's all they're doing is making history this year, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. What are they, like 12-0 in one possession games or something like that, which is absolutely insane, which means, well, look at that. They're 12-3, so every single win they have is a one possession game. But just real quick think back because they went on a 61-yard field goal. Still can't believe Blair Walsh missed that tap in 20-yard field goal against the Seahawks in the cold. I remember my boy was sick because my boy is a Vikings fan. I said, "Bro, how you holding up after Blair Walsh missed that one?"
Oh, Blair Walsh, yeah. He was all right for a little bit, and then he just stared down the wrong direction.
What's
Yo,
good?
Vince, what's going on, my guy? Happy Tuesday, happy New Year to you as well, my guy. Appreciate you stopping by.
Happy birthday, CJ. Are we celebrating?
Oh, happy birthday, Brock Purdy.
Okay. I was
Nice.
gonna say, I thought we celebrated CJ.
No, I'm September now.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm not that bad, am I?
But this is a good win. This is a good win by the Vikings. Went down to the wire. The Giants. It's going to be a close game. Giants are trying to make the playoffs. They were, going into the game. That's what their mindset was. We need to win, and they fought. They fought hard. Justin Jefferson. Got to put him in the MVP conversation. You have to put him in that MVP conversation. The year that he's having right now, Obviously, you're going to go Mahomes, Hurts, and I think number 3 is Justin Jefferson. To me,
I wouldn't be mad at it. I'll tell you that.
To me, I think you got to put him there. I would go Nick Bosa as well. He's playing on one of the best defenses that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
his dominance. Yeah, we got to stop. We got to stop just making the MVP award the quarterback award.
I think they're gonna have to make a new award, honestly.
No, we just have to care more about other positions other than just quarterback. You don't got to make a new award. Just care more about the game outside of the quarterback position.
I agree.
Yeah, we know that. That's what? That's probably what they're gonna have to do.
Adrian Peterson was the last one, right?
Make it like the last one.
And no one's won a defensive one since Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, this is Lawrence Taylor, which is crazy.
And that was like 85, 86?
86, yeah. Early, yeah. Exactly, mid-80s. It's wild.
So
it makes no sense. It really makes no sense.
And that's the thing, too. I hate when people, that's why they have Defensive Player of the Year. No, it's not, because they have an Offensive Player of the Year, too. But there's only one MVP. Stupid.
Yeah, they could do it. They could do it like college and have the Maxwell Award. That's for the best quarterback. And then they also have the Heisman, which still ends up more times than not going to the quarterback.
Anyone who shatters a record like Cup did last year deserves to be MVP. I was all in on the Cup MVP train last year. I mean, Triple Crown winner and technically the Mount Rushmore winner because he had the most yak yards as well.
No, yeah, definitely in the conversation, but MVP is still going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them to win. It's sad that receivers and running backs and defensive players they have to break single season records to get into the MVP discussion. But quarterbacks, they could just have just what you would expect a really good quarterback year, and the team is winning, and they're automatically in the discussion. It's kind of crazy. I don't see the fairness in that, when you analyze it, it's not fair. So yeah, Jefferson is he's locked in. He's locked in. He's trying to get the Calvin's record. Can he do it? I hope so. I think it'll be great.
What's he at?
I don't know off the top.
Let me look it up for you.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, he is at 1,756.
That's wild, bro.
What's Calvin Johnson's record?
I think it's 1940 something.
He had 1964.
1964. Okay. I was gonna say 1946. That's crazy.
So what? I would ask for the math here, but I can barely do math myself. So 1964 minus. No, that's a divide symbol. I don't want that. Minus what I said for Justin said 1756. He needs 208 yards. That's that's light work for him, honestly.
On the year he's having, yeah, he could do that. He could do that in a game.
He could do it in a game. The fact Adrian Peterson never got a farewell tour kills my soul.
He just started going to a lot of teams, bro.
Yeah.
So, it's just tough to really give him a farewell tour. Had he stayed with the Vikings, that might have been an easier thing to do. But once you start going to, every different team, it's tough to really have a tour. If Shannon Sharp could do it, so can everyone today. What does he mean in terms of what?
I think Shannon Sharp had like 200 and something yards in the game.
Right? Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. We've seen a bunch of players. Good. Just Jefferson's already
doesn't he have multiple?
Yeah, he already has a 200-yard game already this season. So he could I think he does have multiple, yes. It's something he could do. I hope he does break it. Go for 2K. That'd be insane if he could get the 2K.
We thought Tyreek was going to do it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, he's kind of, as Tua's playing bad, his numbers decreased. So that's usually how it goes. But credit to the Vikings. They're finding a way. And listen, I know there's the big asterisk around this team and Kirk Cousins' primetime game, but you got to give we got to give Kevin O'Connell a lot of. This is his first year as a head coach in the NFL. First year head coach, rookie head coach.
12-3.
He has this Viking team 12-3. A Viking team that was 7-10 last year. I believe they were 7-10. And not in the playoffs and trending in the wrong direction. He comes in here and now they're winning close games. They're just figuring it out. They're coming back down. They're down and they're coming back and winning the game. Because there's one thing to come back and there's one thing to come back and win. And that's what they're doing. And they're playing great football. And if Kirk Cousins should just stay out his own way, they're a dangerous football team. Because they have weapons just like the 49ers, just like the Eagles, and just like the Cowboys. They have their weapons compare right with those teams. It's just come down to Kirk. What Kirk are we gonna get?
Defense is nowhere near any of those other teams, though. Their defense is not good.
Yeah, I'm saying offensively.
Offensively, absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver out of everybody. So
exactly. So. Yeah, defensively, yes, it's definitely levels. Obviously, you got 49ers, Philadelphia, Cowboys when they're on.
Vince, you're out here reading your minds, or maybe you heard me say it. The good news about the Vikings, at least they don't have Blair Walsh. Blair Walsh Vikings finally found a kicker. I had just mentioned that. Like I said, my boy, shout out my guy Kyle, Vikings fan. Very random considering we grew up in New York, and I don't think he's ever even been to Minnesota. But Vikings
AJ Peterson fan, probably.
I don't know. I gotta ask him why he's a Vikings fan. I don't think I hope that's the reason.
He had the talent to transcend, Minnesota.
True, but yeah, I remember calling him after watching that game. The disgust was real.
Tough game. All right, we got the Bengals and the Patriots. Rough game.
You got to do this, CJ?
Yeah, this one was rough. Bengals were blasting New England the whole first half. It was 22-zip. And then New England just, woke up and realized
it was a football game we're supposed to be playing.
We're professional football players, and we shouldn't be getting blasted on our home field like this in the first half. Because we have some talent as well. Maybe not to this level, to their level, but we have some talent. And they come back 18 unanswered. Driving down the field, right there, and Ramondre Stevenson fumbles. Now, in that, a lot of things occur. Marcus Jones again, just making plays, got a pick six. It's his rookie season, and he's already top 5 player on our team.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
I
wild.
think it's very difficult though, but
Yeah, he's already one of the best players on our team already. So that just speaks to just how talented he is. And every time he touches the football, something good happens. So that's one of the plus. That's one of the good things about this year is seeing him and seeing that we have a guy that's dynamic like that. Already making plays for us, but outside of that, this team is so sad, man. This is it's one of the most disappointing seasons as a Patriot fan ever. The offense is horrendous. The offense is horrendous. Guys running into each other. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry got hurt because they were running into each other on the route. They were running routes where they ran into each other, bro. So they either run routes where they run into each other or everybody runs the same way. That's all their routes. Or screens. Screens, and everyone runs crossers and ends the same way.
Or one streak route a game to Devontae.
Or a back shoulder fade to Devontae if he was out. He was out of this game. But a back shoulder fade to Devontae, or
and around
a deep pass to Tyquan Thornton on Nelson Aguilar. It's a predictable ass offense, man.
Every week I go on Twitter, Dan Orlovsky's laughing at something else we do. breaking down the Pats offense. Makes me sick.
Yeah, it's not all on Mac. I feel for Mac, man. I blame Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick failed the New England Patriots this season. He failed the New England Patriots before games were even started by making this hire. And hiring your friends and family, that's not always the best thing. Now, there's some things that Bill does is good. Like I said, our draft picks are pretty good this year. Can't lie. We got some pretty good draft picks. But we still can't find the skill position players.
No, you had a good draft, and they're all on defense.
That matter the most. So that's a problem. That's a problem, and I just wasn't a fan. I just wasn't a fan of bringing in a guy like Patricia to be a play caller of a second-year quarterback. Like, I don't. How was there no? There was no backlash or any type of disagreement with that. Any type of logic? What was the logic? If someone could explain the logic to me, I would love to hear it.
Bill Belichick said so we did. That's the logic. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, we're never gonna hit. Maybe in a book when he's older, and he has a publisher there and a writer there, and they're asking him, why did you hire Patricia that year in 2021, 2022, 2022, 2023 season?
Why did you decide to torture Patriot fans for a season?
Yeah, that's when we'll find out. But as for right now, it's just confusing, and it's sad. It's sad because I look at the Dolphins on a 4-game losing streak. The Jets are on a trending downward. So if we were able to get some of these dubs that were right there for us, Raider game, Viking game, this game against the Bengals, it's
that Raider game is going to
and those games came down to the wire with a terrible offense. So what that tells me is we're getting outcoached. We're getting outcoached every single Sunday on offense. Defense, special teams has been good enough. Has been good enough because you just can't ask a defense to get stops over and over and over again, and the offense is just getting three and out every single possession. They can't get to the red zone, and when they get to the red zone, they're dead last in scoring efficiency in the red zone. This guy can't find ways to use the tight ends. Now both tight ends are hurt. Ramondre is one of our best players, and he has to figure out the ball security issues. Had problems last year, rookie season. This game, he's been pretty good all year this year, but these last 2 weeks, it's like, you pitch it back to Jacoby, and now you fumble. It's tough because, again, he's one of our best players. So you're kind of torn.
Cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Exactly. But you just hope he gets better and he's more focused. That's all you can hope for, because you got him for another 2 years or so. Belichick still gave him a vote of confidence, which I feel which is good because he does see the talent and we can use him. But I like the way we fought. We fought back down 22, and we had an opportunity to win the game. It was right there for us on the platter. We was in the red zone. That game just reminds me so much of that Miami game in week 1 last year.
Yup.
And Damian Harris dropping the football right there in the red zone, kind of like a similar spot and all that. Pretty crazy. But again, I like the way we fought back, but just the execution is sad, and we shouldn't have to fight back. We shouldn't be down 22 points at home. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. Matt Patricia has to go. He has to go, and I think Bill Belichick knows that. There have been reports about Robert Kraft is going to have discussions with Belichick in the offseason about some things. So we'll see how that goes. I just feel like there needs to be some more common sense. You got a second-year quarterback. You might want to put him with a proven offensive play caller, a guy that could tell him certain things, what to look for, a guy that understands concepts on the fit. Like, this guy's learning on the fly, And and he has to go coach a second-year quarterback as well and tell him what to look for when you're trying to look for those same things. That's not how football is supposed to work. It's so confusing as to why he would do that. It just doesn't seem like a Patriot type thing to do. Put that in quotes, Patriot way. So it's just unfortunate. I heard the Pats are interested in bringing back Bill O'Brien. What's your thoughts? It's better than Patricia. I'll say that. It's much better than Patricia. He's a proven play caller.
I'm so sick and tired of calling my exes when I'm drunk, bro. That's what it is. You go and move on from one person. Okay, let's bring back Josh. Josh leaves, let's bring back this guy. When this guy leaves, we can bring Josh back again. Oh, Bill O'Brien's available this time? Can we find somebody new ever? Inject some life into the team? Yeah, you're right. Bill O'Brien is better than Matt Patricia. A lot of things are better than Matt Patricia. The worst play caller in the league right now is Matt Patricia. Like I said, I saw something on like 90-something% of the time, or one game the Patriots had like 40 snaps under center, and 36 of them were runs. And then they had 40 snaps in shotgun, and 38 of them were passes. So it's the little simple things like that. Anybody could listen. The 20. How many teams are in the NFL? 36. 32. If you could get the 31st play caller in the league, it'd be better, because Matt Patricia is dead 32. We have the 24th, I believe, ranked offense in total offense. If it was 19, the team would be better. I mean, if it was 19th, we're probably sitting at 10 wins.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
So
even just learning how to close games.
I'm done with the Matt Patricia. I'm done with the Bill O'Brien, McDaniels. Please get somebody from the 21st century in the building.
Or just promote somebody you got there, a young guy that you got, one of those young coaches. Promote him, give him an opportunity.
That too, though. If I'm almost scared of people in the building because they're learning things from what's happening now. I don't want you to anything that you've learned this season. It's like a game where you lose 55-0. The coach comes in. We didn't even play that game. Burn the tape, boys. We're moving on. Burn the tape. I don't want anybody who's learned anything from this season to have anything to do with offense next year. Find somebody new. There are hundreds of people out there every year that want to coach in the NFL. Hundreds.
Yeah, Bill just doesn't like change. And that's the thing.
Well, guess what? We need a lot of it. We need a new GM. We need a new scouting department.
That's never gonna happen.
Well, listen, Bill.
We're not gonna get a new GM.
Robert Kraft has to meet with Bill in the offseason. Maybe that's one of the things he wants to say. Hey,
we will get a new offensive coordinator. Definitely, we will get a new offensive coordinator. No doubt about that. GM, Bill has so much control over the team. Just to bring somebody in at this point, I just don't. That's impossible to see. That's impossible to see.
Is what it is.
Because just like somebody else being a boss over Bill at this stage, he just maybe got to trust the people.
Boss. Make him the assistant.
Trust the people around him.
Have conversations when the draft comes or other free agency moves.
Exactly. Or could just trust the people around him, man.
I miss Shaq Mason. Hope that 6th-round pick works out.
Yeah, I mean he's not doing great in Tampa Bay. He did a lot of good things for us, Super Bowl champion. But we need much more than a lot of work.
A 6th-round pick, though. How did he go for a 6th-round pick?
Yeah, but he's a good guard, but it's not like he's a
6th-round pick.
And then also we do a good job of making our players look better than what they are.
We have seen that. We certainly
all the time. Guys like Jamie Collins is a prime example.
Oh yeah, no, he's not allowed to play anywhere
else. He's back with the team too.
Where's he at?
He activated him. I mean, he hasn't been the same since like 2014. So
Oh no, hell no.
That 2014 year, that was his best year. But yeah, man, the Patriots. They're a joke. They're a joke. They're a joke of a team, and this is the saddest way to be, on the trending to the 7-10 way. It's one way it's just how we're losing, and I've been saying this for the last 3 weeks or so. Just you come back, you fight, you battle. The game is close, and you feel like if they could just have one or two good drives and put one or two good drives together, where they could at least get a touchdown or a field goal, 10 points, just open it up, let the defense breathe for a little bit. Then you can make plays. Defense is getting stops. They're getting turnovers. They're creating turnovers. They're getting at least 1 to 2 turnovers a game.
Ben Watson.
As a coordinator?
I think he's joking, saying
as
a tight end.
We could bring him back as a coordinator for sure. As a tight end,
yeah,
I'll tight ends.
Tell Gerard May to throw some pads on while he's at it.
I'll tight ends suck. And the one touchdown we got, where Mac threw it up and Washington tipped it and Jacoby Myers caught it. It's just luck. That's just luck. Yeah, you're hyping the moment because you want your team to win, but it's a lucky play. The pass to Kendrick Bourne, that's a good pass. That was a dot. That was a great catch by Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne finally getting the rock. 120 plus total yards, 6 catches, and a touchdown in this game. Wow.
Who would have thought?
Wow, man. This guy, you wasted this guy's career. He's in his prime, 26 years old. And you waste a year of his prime. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why? Because he was vocal about how trash the offense is. Sorry. Everybody else sees it. So I'm just confused as to somebody asked him a question. You want him to be honest. They're asking why he's not getting the ball. You had the best year of your career last year. Why are you not getting any targets? What is he supposed to say?
Because I think the offense is very good, and I get my opportunities when they come to me. Yeah, I'm not worried as long as we're winning. I'll do anything to help the team win. That's my statement, please.
Yeah, it's just difficult. It's just difficult, man. And I feel for him. Hopefully he stays with us next year as we're in the quest of getting an offensive coordinator. And the Bengals, they fought through. I mean, they made the play. They made the play when necessary. And that was that was to get that fumble on Ramondre Stevenson. They got the fumble, they got it out, they made the play, and that was it. And that first half, they were dominant. They were just moving up and down the field. Joe Burrow was, like 10 for 10 at one point, couldn't be stopped, just throwing a bunch of dots.
Mm-hmm.
And the defensively, the Patriots stepped up, Uche, Judon. So there's some good things about this team, but just the issues are so glaring, and it's just on one side of the field, and it's just unfortunate to watch.
That it is. CJ, I'm not going to lie. Texans-Titans never touched my screen. Too busy with other games, so you can take this one away for us if you have any thoughts on it.
Yeah, just a resilient game by the Titans. I mean, by the Texans. They just made some plays. They made enough plays. Tannehill wasn't in this game. Malik Willis was playing in this one. Vrabel kind of gave him the Mac Jones treatment. It really didn't throw the ball a lot in this game. And it showed. Derrick Henry had a touchdown. They're struggling right now. They're trending. They're going in the wrong direction as the Jaguars are going in the right direction. And it's going to be an interesting last 2 weeks for the season for this Titans team. They're going to need some answers. I think either, regardless of how it goes, whether they make the playoffs, win the division, they need to start looking at quarterback options. Whether that's Geno Smith, I think it'd be a good solid fit. Calm little 2-year deal. if you want to continue to win, if you don't want to, completely have a bad year, get a quarterback type year.
I mean, they got Malik though.
I like Malik. It's going to take some time. I just don't know if he's ready to be the quarterback of this team right now because they're good enough to be a playoff type team. And I don't know if Vrabel is going to have the patience to be able to withstand the mistakes that Willis is going to make. Given the situation, even though, yes, they want to run the football and play defense, that's their calling card. But if he's making mistakes and turning the football over and throwing picks, and he's not getting any completions on top of that, that's inefficient basketball. So football. So I don't know. I don't know if he's ready for that right now. So I'm saying bringing a guy like Geno, then Malik Willis can learn for a year, and then if he's ready, he could come in, beat out Geno, and then you got your fairy tale. You got your dream scenario for a franchise in pursuit of a quarterback. So that's what the Titans need to do, man. For the Texans, this win really doesn't matter too much because their loss is their record. It doesn't matter if they win or lose because they're still gonna get the number 1 pick in the draft. That's how bad they are right now. But yeah, good win for them, I guess, divisional win. But not too much to say about this one. Commanders and the 49ers, really much of the same. Yeah, much of the same. Taylor Heineke was struggling. They brought in Carson Wentz.
Pennsylvania Avenue's back.
Pennsylvania Avenue got an opportunity to play in this game. Did all right.
12 for 16, 123 on touchdown. Just saying.
Yeah, the game was over, and they're playing backup coverage. Salute. But we know what time it is. The 49ers are just on a different level. Brock Purdy, what is he? I think he's still more in that Garoppolo tier. I don't see him. When I look at him, I don't see a French. I don't listen. He's playing good football. He's playing good football, man. If Brock Purdy keeps playing like this, the healthy Niners could beat Philadelphia and Philly. Yeah, I think so.
Philly's tough, but it's possible. Hell yeah, it's possible.
Very possible.
I mean, it's more difficult, obviously, in Philly, but I mean, hey.
They have a great defense, so I don't know.
Eagles.
Yeah, so do the Eagles. Oh man, so do the Eagles, but
CJ, I'm watching the game, and I'm waiting for your reactions.
It's tough. It's tough.
Big Nick guy. This
big
guy
Nick guy
over here.
But no, I think the 49ers could definitely beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia. They have the team that travels, and they're going to make it tough.
Defense. Talk about traveling in the winter.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they're a West Coast team, they got the identity of a Northeast team, and yeah, I can see them doing well. And Brock Purdy's playing good football. He's playing good. He's playing great football. He's not turning the ball over. And he's getting the football to his playmakers. McCaffrey, Kittle had a crazy game, 2 touchdowns, $120. He was getting yak. So they're just clicking on all cylinders, and they're going to be a formidable team in the conference. And this is also an opportunity for them to crack and get back to the Super Bowl. Brady's not at the top level. No Rams to stop you and get in your way. It's going to come down to can you beat Philadelphia? Can you beat Dak again? Those are the questions we're going to find out.
Yes, sir. New logo goes hard, not going to lie.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Appreciate that. Like we said, top right. You see that little beautiful thing? Make sure you check out the Twitter. We're going to have, in the little score. Listen, you might notice the scoreboard's blank. Don't worry. That's where the title name's going to go, the episode number and all that. So we got things planned out. Things planned down. Like you said, just real quick on this 49ers team. Obviously very, very good. They can beat anybody, anywhere. If Brock Purdy plays like this, I cannot wait to see what they do if Jimmy G comes back healthy and is able to return. I can't wait.
No, you got to go with Purdy. We said this, bro. You got to go with Purdy, bro. You got to stick. Garoppolo's not good enough to get to get a guaranteed spot back. Come on, man. Stop it.
I mean, hey.
It's not good enough to be like, oh, yeah, Garoppolo, yeah, as soon as he comes back, give him the job. No.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I would be shocked. It's not just he's good.
Listen, I understand that he's not
that good.
But...
And he hasn't been that good in the playoffs to where it's like, oh, yeah. No, he's terrible in the playoffs. He's terrible. Check the numbers. He's not good. So, yeah, let's see what we have. We got a 7th round pick. He could be a jackpot. What if he comes out in the playoffs and balls out? Are you like, you're gonna go back to Garoppolo off of what?
I'm telling you right now, if it's like 14-3 going into halftime and the offenses look bad of the playoff game, they're going to Jimmy. I'm telling you right now. They'll make the quarterback change. Maybe. I can see it already.
I don't even think he's good enough to get them in a comeback.
Jimmy comes out like Paul Pierce.
He's not a come from behind type quarterback anyway.
I still think they'd do it. Since I know you guys are Pats fans, who do you think is having a better season, Purdy now or TB12 year one? Listen.
Oh, come on. Are we doing this?
He said with the comps. Year one. Just year one. Now listen, I excuse myself from this because I'm a young bull. Year one for Brady was what, 01? I was a year old, so I don't know what was happening in life.
I mean, you've seen documentaries and everything, bro. But
CJ, I'm sorry, bro.
We're about to see. But yeah, it's just I would just go. I would just go with Purdy. I would just say Purdy's playing well right now. I'm not gonna compare him to Brady year one. It's way too early. We've only seen a couple games. Oh man. That's tough, bro. That's tough, man.
Overtime, here we come. It's all right.
Overtime, wow. Yeah. So, So I would just say right now you got to still go with Brady. Just the sample size is not large enough for Purdy, but he's playing great football. He's well coached, and the way they're playing, I just no way. You go back to Garoppolo. It's no way.
Well, the game of the week, everybody. The Cowboys and the Eagles. Obviously a very, very good game, which is beautiful on Christmas Eve to close out the night, as you're getting ready to go to bed for big old jolly man come sliding down that chimney. But Cowboys got the win. Very disappointing. I want the Eagles to win. My brother's an Eagles fan. Look at me being a nice guy, hoping my brother's teams do well since my team. Well, I have no hope, so I might as well hope for somebody else's sake. Gardner Minshew was playing in this game, obviously, because Hurts was hurt. And 24, 40, 355, 2 touchdowns. Did have 2 interceptions, though. They also fumbled twice. Devonta Smith had a big game, 8 for 113, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown did his thing, 6 for 103. Dallas Goedert is back now, 3 for 67. And definitely didn't have the success running the ball, 21 to 65 for Miles Sanders, so did not have the success there. Dak had a very good game, 27 to 35, 347, threw an early interception, but did have 3 touchdowns as well. Tony Pollard continues to be that change of pace guy. CeeDee Lamb had a huge game, 10 for 122 touchdowns. So a very, very good game, and I know. Listen, I keep saying, wow, Luka has 53.
Crazy, bro.
53, 18, and 10. Nah, give this guy the MVP. But no. So I continue to say, and I still believe this even after this game, and I think it proves my point. I think the Eagles are the only team that can beat the Eagles. The 2 games that they've lost, they have beaten themselves. You have 4 turnovers in the game. And listen, they put up 34 points on the Dallas defense, which is ranked top 5. Now, you can say, oh, well, the Cowboys put up 40 points against the Eagles defense, which is ranked top 5 as well. I think it's number 2, actually. Yeah, that is also true. That is also a very correct point. But like I said, 4 turnovers, that's 4 short fields. That's 4 more possessions for the Eagles. For the Eagles defense. So I really do think the Eagles are the only team that can beat them because the 2 games they've lost this year was this one and then the game against the Commanders where they were making mistakes. I think Hurts had a couple interceptions in that game. If you remember, was it Quez Watkins, I want to say it was, fumbled on like a 50-yard pass.
The
That was
Commanders, yep.
Yep, that was going to set them up in beautiful field position to go and win the game. So they've really beat themselves in the 2 games that they've lost. Now, can they lose to other teams? Obviously, can the one team just put together a good day? Of course. But I think if the Eagles just don't turn the ball over, well, if every team didn't turn the ball over, they'd win. You never know. But especially if they just take care of the football, I still think the Eagles are the only team that beats them.
Yeah, Dallas is they fought. They fought, man. They fought in this one because after it was 10-zip and everybody was like, oh, okay, here we go. Here we go.
I was saying at the dinner table.
Yeah, they were saying it's looking slow. It's looking slow for them right now. Can they come back? And Dak, the way Dak played after that was amazing. He was elite. He was throwing dots up and down the field. CeeDee Lamb looked like a top 5 wide receiver. I mean, the way he was catching the football, getting yards after the catch. He was a dog. He was a dog out there. This was a defense where they didn't really get home in terms of sacks, but they were opportunistic in terms of capitalizing on the turnovers. Like you just talked about, 2 picks, 2 lost fumbles. I mean, that's you take that every time. That's how you bounce back. Dak, yeah, he did a great job. He did a great job of definitely responding after the adversity early on in the game. And in Philadelphia, yeah, they're going to be. I think they're going to be all right. They're going to be all right. They're going to be fine. Gardner Minshew was there. I knew he's bound to turn the ball over. That's just the type of quarterback that he is. He's kind of a gunslinger type where he's going to turn it over. He's going to throw a couple picks every once in a while, and that's what happened. Devontae Smith played phenomenal. Had one of the best catches of the season on that sideline. Did a great job. I mean, it's a back and forth game. Hopefully, we see the third game. That'd be great. That'd be great if we see that third game in the playoffs.
Both quarterbacks for once.
Exactly, and both teams have their quarterbacks. We see Dak versus Hurts for the third game. I think that's going to be one that's going to be must-see TV. That's going to be must-see TV. So I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. All right, we go on to the Sunday night game. I was wrong. I forgot the Eagles Cowboy game was 425 for some stupid reason. Oh, wait, no, it's because of the immaculate reception. Which, by the way, we obviously, perfect time to mention it.
Right, yeah, I was going to wait here. Yes.
I mean, just crazy. Obviously, all the build up to this game was that he was getting his number retired, and it was the anniversary of the immaculate reception. Saw people talking about it all over social media. That was the build up to the game. Those were the commercials being run. They were having a football life on Franco Harris. It was the immaculate reception is named, the greatest play in NFL history and everything like that. And then he sadly passed away a couple days before, I believe it was Thursday. So they still went through with retiring his jersey, and obviously he'll be remembered forever for that play, and obviously for being a Hall of Famer. Listen, that's one of the greatest plays you'll ever see, but you forget that he's also a great player. It's not a David Tyree situation where it's one play in the Super Bowl and not really much of a career. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah,
as one of the greatest plays, or technically the greatest play in NFL history. So rest in peace to Franco Harris. Obviously, it was an emotional halftime. Watching him get his number retired. I believe it was his son and his widow now. So. That was nice to see. And the Steelers came out with a W on top of all of those things. A slow game. You see the weather affecting everybody, like I've been saying. It was obviously cold in this one as well. And it came down to the end. The Steelers got the ball back. Kenny Pickett led the Steelers down, scored a touchdown late to take the lead. And then I believe it was the first pass for the Raiders on the drive where they could have went and tie it. Carr threw a pick, which was his third of the game. He played absolutely awful.
Terrible.
Adams did absolutely nothing. Darren Waller didn't really do anything. Hunter Renfrow. I mean, it was just a bad offensive game as a whole. But Steelers get a win. They're still alive. They still have they need some things to bounce their way. I know they have to win out for sure, obviously, but they are still alive in the playoff race.
Yeah, which is crazy. You would have never thought the Steelers right now, though. Just like the first couple months of the season, you think they'd be in this predicament to where
Yeah, I forgot about that one too. Ronnie Hillman.
Yeah, R.I.P. Ronnie Hillman, man. R.I.P.
Damn, you lost Demarius and Ronnie Hillman from that team.
Crazy.
Franco, it's tough.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. Yeah, R.I.P. Franco Harris. That's wild. I'm not sure why it took so long for them to retire his jersey. I don't know what the reason behind that was.
I think he's only the third one that has his number retired. They just don't do it. I think it's like Mean Joe Green. I don't know who the other person is. And then him now.
Yeah, it's just weird to me. I mean, he literally was one of the best players during the time where they had their best years as a franchise. So, for them to wait 50 years to retire his jersey, it's a little weird. But well, not 50 years, maybe like 40-something years. It was 50 years since the Immaculate Reception, but like 30-something years, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But condolences to his family, condolences to the family, everybody that the loss. He's a legend. He's a legend, man. One of the biggest players in NFL history. Was a guy in the 70s. He was one of the best running backs in the 70s, right up there with those top guys, Earl Campbell and those guys. So this is a big loss. He was doing interviews with people.
Day before.
It's regular.
Cam Hayward had him on his podcast.
Crazy. So again, man, R.I.P. Franco Harris, and condolences to his family. And in this game, you kind of just felt like it was going to be one of those close games that was going to go down to the wire. You just felt that way. And Kenny Pickett made some big throws late in this game to extend some drives. Did a great job of not forcing anything down the field. Had some great checkdowns to Najee Harris to extend the drives. And then threw that touchdown pass to George Pickens for the lead. It was a big play. And just speaks to how they battle, how they fight, how great this defense is. Because they still got some really good players on that side of the football field. Granted, the way they scheme things up is terrible. Josh McDaniels, one of the worst in-game play callers in terms of schematics and situational play callers. He's one of the worst in the league. Because they were up 10-0 in this game. They had multiple leads earlier in this game, in their previous games throughout the season, and they fold in the second half. They look great in the first half. Everything's clicking. Guys getting the ball. Josh Jacobs getting the ball. They're running the football. Adams getting the rock. And the second half comes along. They're just flat. So what's going on there? He sucks at adjusting.
Yep.
And that's his problem. And it's unfortunate. But this was just a pivotal win for the Steelers, just a monumental win, just based on the whole week and everything that went down. So a big win for Pittsburgh, and glad they got that done. And it's wild. They're right there in the mix, like we talked about at the top of the preview. At the top of the recap.
Yep. They are. Steelers are right there. Raiders just what a disappointment of a season. What a disappointment. We go on though to the Sunday games finally. CJ, I think we both agree. We don't got to talk about that middle Rams-Broncos game, right?
Not at all, man. Not at all.
I know we got to talk about Packers-Dolphins first, which is worth talking about, but I had to get it off my chest. I mean, I saw that final score. And like I said, I was watching it while I was putting together Mr. Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet. Just thank God I had something else to do. Yeah. But Packers 26-20, they needed this win, obviously, to stay alive in the playoff race, and they needed a lot of things to bounce their way, and every single thing bounced their way. They needed the Commanders to lose, they needed the Giants to lose, they needed the Lions to lose. Everything happened. Now I think they need to just win out and have the Commanders lose one more game, and they would be in the playoffs, which is incredible. I don't think they'll do anything in the playoffs, but it would be incredible. Obviously, I would say, and I think CJ would agree with me, the big news out of this game is Luka is back. Luka, I'm watching the Net game because of you, CJ. See what you did in me? Tua. See, I got the Uas, mixed up.
So
Tua is back in concussion protocol for the third time this season. It's kind of been identified. It was the play in the first half. He gets tackled. Just absolute whiplash, whips his head, hits the ground. And then
does he not have like control of his body? Like I don't know. I'm not in the moment. I don't know, but it's just.
Well, have you seen the play?
Yeah, I think I did see, and his head kind of went back. It's similar to the Cincinnati one a little bit. Yeah,
it was definitely some whiplash on the way down. I get what you mean though, because like if you're falling,
you can't brace it. Like
I guess it's hard in football too, though, because he was holding onto the ball still. So I guess he's more worried about fumbling.
Yeah.
No, I guess if he doesn't have the ball and he just gets hit, maybe he can do a little armadillo and try and protect himself. But then again, third concussion in what 4 or 5 weeks? I think it is. So it's
a little more than that, but right, but still, it's crazy.
You got a lot of people saying he definitely shouldn't play the rest of the year. You got people saying he should retire. Listen, I wouldn't blame him for doing anything. Football is cool. You make millions of dollars. You're a celebrity. You're playing a sport you love. You know what's really cool? Having brain function. I'm a big fan of being able to use my head.
Nah, for sure. But
there's not a lot going on in here, but being able to actually control what I'm doing and being healthy, big fan of that.
The thing for the people saying that they should retire, I understand. I understand it's serious. It's very serious. But and it's not okay, but throughout the league, all of these guys have concussions, and they don't. It's just not. They don't publicize it.
No, and CJ, here's the thing too. We've heard players.
I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I'm just saying.
No, absolutely.
To say retire when a lot of these guys.
That's what they've worked their entire life for.
But I'm saying, and even still, like a lot of these guys have concussions, whether they know it or not.
Well, you remember Joe Burrow? Remember Joe Burrow not too long ago said, "I've probably got 50 concussions in my lifetime. I've never told anybody."
Now, see, 50 is crazy. But, it's believable because you're taking all them shots.
And
and for a quarterback, I get it. For a quarterback, you're standing in the pocket and you really, you're throwing the ball. When you're throwing the ball, you can't control what happens next.
No.
Because you don't know.
Somebody tackles you from behind and gator rolls you. How do you can't see that?
Yeah, so it's difficult. It's difficult, man. Prayers up, bro. But nah, go ahead.
But it's been kind of identified as that play, and then he comes back in the second half. Obviously, did not play very well. He threw 3 straight interceptions. Excuse me, but
how do you think they mismanaged that again?
Well, apparently, here's my thing.
Because
I don't know, because he wasn't wobbly when he stood up like the other time, and obviously he didn't get knocked out like he did the other time.
Right, it just didn't look as bad, but that doesn't mean you know what I mean.
No, exactly. I feel like that's another failure from the independent neuro trauma consultant.
It's not independent, bro. I'm
telling you, I'll call them by their government name. By their NFL name, you know what I mean?
I know. I'm just saying. We all know they're real.
And then apparently, Tua didn't say anything until Monday. I guess he came in and was like, "Oh yeah, I got some symptoms." So also CJ, at what point is it on Tua?
Interesting.
At what point is it on Tua though? To be like,
in regards to what?
To his own health or to what he's doing to the team. Like, listen, because CJ, let me tell you how this is going to go, right? And I can see it happening already. I can't believe the Dolphins will let him play like that again. I can't believe the independent neural trauma missed it again. Okay, but at what point do you have to blame the person where it's, okay, I just smacked my head on the ground. Things are getting a little fuzzy right now. I should probably go tell somebody. Like, how many times are we going to blame this person without blaming the person that actually did it. Like at some point, you have to say Tua, like you can't keep doing this.
Yeah, that's going to be something that where the people around him, his loved ones, his family members, friends, coaches, that those are going to be conversations that he's going to have with them if they really feel like it's a serious situation, and where it is serious and where they have an opportunity to talk to him and tell him, listen, man, you could really jeopardize your health long term. Yeah. So we'll see how it plays out. It's very tough. It's very tough, man. I just hope he makes the right decision, the decision that's best for him. And but yeah, 3 concussions in the span of, like you said, like 6 or 7 weeks. It's not good. It's not.
And not like a minor concussion, like couldn't stand up concussion.
And he missed time. He missed like 3 weeks too.
Yeah,
after one of them. So
like he couldn't stand up after one, got knocked out because of another one, and then because and I didn't even hear this either after the game, he apparently said like, and listen, maybe this is people reaching, and maybe I'm reaching as well, but hey, you got to put everything to account. For that last interception, he was like, "Oh, I don't know if I just called the wrong play or I don't know really what happened on that last one." Like, is that kind of like him just being like, "Oh, I don't know what happened. Like, we had a miscommunication," or is it literally him saying like, "I don't even know what play I called." Like
could be a little bit of both.
like that's right after the game. So imagine what he's like in the huddle or playing. Like, you're trying to decipher everything as a quarterback with a concussion. So, it's I don't know what's going to happen with him. I feel like him retiring would be a long shot just because he's young. And I feel, like I said, maybe if this is his 8th season, he's made a bunch of money. He's done some things. And don't get me wrong, he's already made a bunch of money. But maybe at like 8 years in his career, like an Andrew Luck, he could be like, okay, listen, I played in the league. I'll be remembered for something. I lived my dream for a couple of years. Like this is like, damn, I just started doing this and I'm going to have to retire. Nah, I don't think he will. But like I said, if he made the decision to, I'm not blaming him.
Yeah. The thing about that is, where it's a little different to maybe another quarterback that may retire early. It's the brain.
Exactly.
You can't really.
You can't change that. Like there's no
rehab. There's no recovery. There's no PT. You know what
exactly. I mean? Listen, you hear people like, oh, lacerated kidney. Okay, that heals. It does. It hurts. But what are you going to do? Rehab your brain? It's not even possible.
Yeah. Furthering destroying the layer of your brain. That's supposed to protect the skull. That's what they do when these guys get hit in the head. That's what they're doing. They're damaging that skin, those cells. It's a violent game. It's just what you sign up for. Every player knows that.
I mean, listen, you have Hall of Famers who are like in early stages of CTE that are like, oh, I would go back and play at. Like, I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, because it changed their life, man. It changed their life.
I mean, if that's the mindset you're going to have, then maybe like we say retirement and Tua looks at us and like, listen, you stupid idiot. You think I'm going to retire? I mean, I signed up for this.
It's true. It's true, man. Just again, man, prayers up to him, and hopefully he finds whatever answers that he's looking for. With Green Bay, they came out and they responded. Obviously, the big thing from this game was the Jair Alexander post game interview with Pam Oliver. He was breaking down his interception. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's going to go down as a classic now, for sure. So that was hilarious by him. The defense played great. They were very opportunistic. Yeah, that's a concern early. Unfortunately, with Christian Watson is injuries. When he's on the field, he's dynamic. He just got to stay on the field. So hopefully, going forward in his career, he can stay healthy. We can see him make some more highlight plays like he did in this little 6-game stretch where he went crazy. He had like 8 touchdowns. But yeah, if he could come back, that's great. Lazard, Cobb, They want to run the football, and they still have to start back-to-back MVP on the center. Either way it goes, and then and what a story that would be if they somehow get to the playoffs. And again, they somehow get to the playoffs, and we know his playoff history isn't great, but looking at the talented QBs in the NFC, you can't just say this is a cakewalk. Whoever plays Green Bay, that Pack Loki look nice. They look all right. They look all right, man. But I'm more concerned about Miami. Again, losing 4 in a row. They were 8-3. We were talking about Tua's record. When he was the starter, when he came back,
finishes a game.
Yeah, we were gassing that up, and I still root for his success. I'm not a hater, but it's not where it's.
What did I say after that San Francisco game?
I forgot.
I was a little concerned.
I was a little concerned. Yeah,
I was a little concerned, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt because it was San Francisco. But I said, the offense just doesn't look right, and this and that. Now it's 4-0. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's ugly. They're playing ugly right now, man. They gotta find a way to get a W somehow, some way. They're close in these games. They lost to Buffalo in a game-winning field goal. This was a close game. They just turned the ball over 3 times. You can't turn the ball over 3 times at home. You can't do that. You can't give a team 3 more opportunities to score. You just can't do that. Man, they have to cut down the turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
So Tua's not going to be there. He's not going to play this week, obviously. Next week, TBD. But whoever their quarterback is against the Patriots,
should be Teddy B, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater. That has to be the primary focus, is just protecting the football and not turning that thing over, man. Broncos and the Rams, nothing to talk about other than that was, Nathaniel Hackett's last game as an NFL head coach. Baker Mayfield went wild. I don't know what his future holds. He'll probably get an opportunity from a team.
I think he signs back with the Rams.
I think that'd be the smart choice, as for him to sign back with the Rams for 1 more year, really learn, get some really good quality coaching that he hasn't had in his entire NFL career at a high level, at least. So I think that would be good for him. But, if an opportunity presents itself, I wouldn't knock it if he felt like, I'm going to come in and be a starter somewhere and get a couple dollars too. But yeah, that's it from this game. Other than that, Broncos, they're sad. I feel bad for those. I feel bad for that defense, even though the defense went crazy in this one. In terms of giving up points, but overall, they've played relatively well, and for the offense to be so dirt like that, I feel for those players. Feel for those players. When you're going 110%, and then you step on the field and watch your teammates sell the whole thing. It's wild. Can't even imagine what they're going through. All right. We got Sunday Night Football, Buccaneers versus the Cardinals. This was the Cardinals going the Cardinals' way. Tracy McSorley. Came in, made some plays.
TikTok legend.
TikTok legend. He was running around. Connor was running the football, doing some nice things. But ultimately, Brady came in there and did what he needed to do, clutched it out, and they got the game-winning field goal. And Suck-Up hit the game-winning field goal. This is clutch work by Brady. They're just barely getting by. Really, that's really what this team is. This is a team that just barely gets by. They're not really good at starting the game well. Brady and Mike Evans, rapport is a little off. It's a little weird. They're kind of off right now. On that drive to get the field goal, they were connecting.
Dead on.
Yeah, it was dead on. It was like
last 2 seasons.
Yeah. It was like that was his 13th or 14th target. the way he was throwing dots to him. I'm like, where is this all game? So I don't know. That's a weird dynamic.
They could only play the 4th quarter. They might be undefeated.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So that's a weird dynamic, and I know Brady doesn't like to throw outside the numbers, especially at this stage of his career. But you got to find a way to get Mike Evans a football. Byron Leftwich, whoever, Brady, whoever y'all call that game. You got to get 13 to rock. But they got it done. White, Fournette, did a great job of running the football, catching the football out the backfield as well. That's a nice little running back tandem that they have right now. Offensive line, got to clean some things up. But they just got to win this division. Now, I'm pretty sure they're just thinking, we just got to get in, just win division, and then we'll try to figure everything out after that. But
yep,
they needed to get this W. There's no way if you lose this one to the Cardinals, you're down very bad, very bad.
Yeah, I mean, not much to add because the game was terrible. But I mean, you expected the Bucs to win. I thought it would be a much bigger margin of victory, considering obviously Kyler's not there and they don't even have their backup. You're down to, like I said, TikTok legend Trace McSorley. But Bucs did what they had to do at the end of the day, and they move on to take on the Panthers this week, which is kind of for the division, so kind of for a playoff berth.
Yeah. So I mean, it's wild. It's wild, bro. I mean, we had so much expectations for this team. We thought they were going to be, a 10-win team, 10-win plus win team. Given the guys that they had, everybody's coming back. Oh yeah, they lost to the Rams in that close game in the divisional round. And we go, and as the games are being played, we see a completely different story. And we're going to see what type of team they are these next few weeks as they go into the playoffs. If they get to the playoffs. Last game of the week, JJ Watt's production. Oh yes, yeah. JJ Watt.
About JJ Watt.
JJ Watt retired. He's going to retire after this season. They have two road games for Arizona. That's a Hall of Famer, 5-time Pro Bowler. Oh yeah, for sure. First ballot. For sure.
One of 3 players to win the 3 Defensive Player of the Years. Only player to have multiple 20-sack seasons. He has 4 15-plus sack seasons. That 2012 season, I think, like I said, could have won the MVP. I think that's when he had like 20.5 sacks, 5 touchdowns, an interception, 4 forced fumbles. I mean, yeah, literally, I was watching McAfee today, and they had AQ Shipley on, and he said when he was with the Patriots that they literally would just bring out tennis rackets to, pretend to be JJ Watt, to mimic JJ Watt. I mean, he, early on, Texans JJ Watt. I mean, listen, even this year, is it 2012 JJ Watt and prime? No, he has 9.5 sacks. I mean, he's not
solid.
Yeah, he's not bad. I'll tell you that.
Solid. He's healthy, and that's really been the issue for him. It's just health these last 5 years, I would say.
And then even this year, he had that thing with his heart, which was obviously scary for him because he just started a family.
You're right.
Get out while obviously you got to fix, but get out while everything is still good. Why put yourself through a grueling season when you've already had some? I mean, talk about the brain. The heart's one another thing you just don't play around with. So
that's a fact, man. But yeah, man, hell of a career. One of the greatest defensive players I've ever seen. One of the most dominant football players.
Hell of a guy too. Remember, raised that $41 million for Texas when the hurricane.
During the hurricane, yes, during the hurricane. So he's done some great things in his time in the NFL. Definitely gonna be missed. He has his younger brother going crazy as well. He's on his way to becoming a Hall of Famer also. So,
First brothers ever potentially.
Yeah, very possible. I think it's going to happen. As long as TJ keeps playing well, next 5 years or so, definitely. Yeah. These next 5 years, he goes crazy. It's a lock. And JJ, and the only thing for me is the media they pick and choose like whether they want guys to be first ballot or not.
If he's not first ballot, the Hall of Fame is a sham.
I mean, Shannon Sharp wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. Chris Carter wasn't. T.O. wasn't. Chris Carter wasn't the first ballot Hall of Famer. So we say, we say if he's not first ballot, I'm going to go crazy. But we see this all the time. It makes no sense to me how does it take Chris Carter 7 years to get into the Hall of Fame?
That's the thing.
How does that?
I hate the thing with the media too. That's like, oh, well, in the locker room he was this, or outside he. I don't care. I want to know what he did on the field as an NFL, MLB, NBA player.
And you know the irony. And you know the irony of the people that say the locker room stuff. Who's the one reporting that locker room stuff?
Exactly.
The media. So now when they get the scoop there while the players are playing, it's all gravy. But when it's time to put them in the Hall of Fame, oh, you were bad in the locker room. That's what the reports told us. Nasty work. It is, bro. It is. I mean, because these guys, we just talked about all the injuries these guys go through, and your status of being put in a group of players that will put you in a class that you will never be forgotten until the end of time, and that's decided by 10 to 12 media people, and they're upset, or they didn't like the team that you played on, or they didn't like a interview that you had with them back in '97. Like that's, and then for them to just
2004, he was not very nice to me.
It's scary, bro. You put in your career accomplishments and legacy in the hands of the media.
He would not make a bibliography for my book when I wrote it about the team he was on. So he was a bad guy.
Nasty work, man.
The one reporting the locker room is anonymous. Exactly.
Yeah, anonymous. So wild. All right, and then to wrap it up for the week, we got the Chargers and the Colts. Not too much to say about this one. Colts obviously trending in the direction they should be trending in.
Only thing I got, CJ, we got Herbert in. We got him in, baby.
Good. This is we talked about this over the last 2 weeks. We said they need to win out or win as much as they needed to win to lock in a playoff berth. And that's exactly what they did. Good for them, because early in this game, it was looking a little scary. And I'm like, there's no way that if they fold this one against the Colts on here on Monday night, and if that's the reason why they don't make the playoffs, I mean, it's going to be tough. If you're a Herbert fan, it's going to be tough to defend him.
Remember, like last year against the Texans? And they lost.
That's the Texan game, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Gave up 40. Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. So, but they don't have to worry about that, and they're getting their guys back at the right time. So we're setting up for some great games. We could see Herbert versus Trevor. Whoo! Are you kidding me, bro?
Well, Herbert versus Burrow, I would be with.
Herbert versus Burrow, definitely. So
I'll take a. Can we skip to the AFC playoffs already?
We're about to see some. We're about to see right now. We're about to see some modern day classics. That's what we're about to see. Going forward, we're just going to see a whole bunch of.
I don't know if anything will top that Bills Chiefs game,
bro. As we go forward, that's just a glimpse of what we're about to see for the next decade, bro.
Oh, I know.
So they're definitely going to top that. They're definitely going to top that game. But yeah, I'm glad the Chargers are in, and we're going to see now. I'm happy. I'm very happy for the Chargers. I'm happy for Herbert. He's a talented player. I'm happy for Keenan. I'm happy for everybody on that team. They deserve this. They struggled. They had like a rough November, but their December was really good, and that's all that matters.
Joey Bosa's supposed to be back next week.
Joey Bosa's coming back. Khalil Mack had a sack in his game. So it's good. It's there that Derwin James had a pick. Hopefully he gets back healthy.
Crazy hit that was.
Crazy, yeah, crazy. So they're trending in the right direction at the right time. So that's good to see for this Charger team.
But all right, how about this? We end it there, and we go to our picks because that's everybody's favorite part of the show. Well, not really. Your favorite part of the show is, the communication with us two. Because, it's a wonderful time as always. CJ, do you know by any chance how we did last week?
I don't have that for you guys.
I think on Gen Z, I went like 7-8. So it was a rough week for your boy.
You switch it up sometimes.
I do switch it up sometimes, but it was. I'm disgusted with myself, CJ.
Yeah, it was tricky. This week was tricky, bro.
I'm picking well.
Yeah, this week was a little tricky. Some teams that that shouldn't have won, but they get the dub. Like the
Pick
Texans.
the Jets. Why did I pick the Jets?
Yeah, I picked the Jags. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my God.
I was like, you sure, man?
Was I okay?
He was like number 2 defense. I was like, okay.
Somebody check on me. I'm begging.
They're like 6 now, but yeah.
God.
All right, Thursday night football, man. This is a low key. This could be a little sleeper for Dallas. They better not sleep on this. It could be a trap game. Yeah, a little trap
What
game.
are there 3 out of 4 trap games they've had?
Yeah, the whole AFC South trap games.
Jeez.
Except the Colts, and they blasted the Colts. All the other teams are trap games. I got the Cowboys.
I agree with you.
Cardinals and the Falcons. I got Atlanta by default, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. They're home, so sure.
Yeah, right. Like it's okay. Bears and the Lions. I'm gonna go Detroit.
I'm gonna go with the Lions. You know, Jared Goff in the dome.
Right. Yeah, he's different, surgical in the dome. Jaguars and the Texans. This divisional game, but I still feel like the Jags are gonna get it done.
Exactly. The Jags are on a run here, just like Christian said. The Rams are on. But I'll go with gotta go with the Jags. This next game you skip. I mean, come on. I mean,
Chiefs, Broncos, Chiefs. Obviously, we going with Kansas City. Dolphins and the Patriots. No Tua.
No Tua. I got to go with us. If Tua somehow miraculously plays, I'm not gonna lie. I'm picking the Dolphins.
Yeah, Tua's not playing this game, bro. So it's gonna be Teddy Bridgewater. I'm gonna go with us, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose. We suck. So.
CJ, you know what? I will say I'm glad that you've come aboard the ship.
I mean, bro, I can't sit here and just lie to myself every week, bro. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That's extra stress on. I'm gonna try to defend the team that's already stressing me out. That's extra stress that I don't need. I'm good. Makes no sense.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, I might as well just tell it how it is and release all the stress.
We've been awaiting your arrival.
Yeah, it's just sad, bro. It's just a sad football team. Colts and the Giants. I'm going with the Giants.
I'll ride with Big Blue.
Saints and the Eagles. If it's Gardner Minshew, this could be a tricky game. Saints got a good defense. I'm gonna still go Philly though, but this could be a close type game.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Panthers and the Buccaneers. This is a good game, man. This is going to be a great game. A lot of that stake on this game. I'm going to go Tampa Bay.
I'm actually going to take the Panthers.
Oh, Josh Panthers. Okay. Wow. So you scared? You don't think Brady's going to make the playoffs?
Bro, it's just
that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. This last year, you don't make the playoffs.
It's so ugly.
No, it is. It's bad. They
Eagles need to keep that pick low. You're right. That's an extra motivation to win that game.
Facts. That's a fact. Browns and the Commanders. I'm gonna go with the Commanders.
I'm going with the Commies too.
I don't know. I don't know who starts.
It might be Wentz. What my man Chase Young did coming off in the injury list. Ooh.
Yeah. He's a beast. He's a beast. I think Wentz is probably gonna play in this game. We'll see though. We'll see. Ron Rivera said he didn't know. He said you have to check the film, but it might go with Wentz. But I feel like Heineke got you to this point where you might get to a playoff game. I think they should go back with Heineke, but we'll see. 49ers and the Raiders. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. I don't trust Las Vegas at all. All right.
I mean, come on.
We got the Jets and the Seahawks. This is an important game for both teams. I'm going to go with the Seahawks, even with Mike White.
I'm going with the Jets. Again, they're going to hurt me again, but I'm going with the Jets.
Okay. Vikings versus the Packers. I'm going to go Green Bay just for the story, man. Just to keep the story alive. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I want the Packers to win this game. It just furthers my Vikings fraud thing.
They can't call them frauds, bro. After coming back down 33.
Don't care. It was the Colts.
Yeah, but still, 33 is tough.
Fraud.
I feel
they play the right team.
Yeah, for sure. They're definitely styles make fight type of team. Rams and the Chargers. I gotta go with the Chargers on this California LA matchup.
I agree with you.
Steelers and the Ravens one more time. Again,
I don't want the Steelers to win to keep the story alive, but I think Lamar's going to be back in this one, so I'm going with the Ravens.
If Lamar is back, yes, I'm going with Baltimore. If not, I'm going to go with the Steelers to keep this thing alive, man. And then Monday Night Football, potential game of the year, like you talked about earlier, Bills and the Bengals.
Man.
I'm going with Cincinnati.
I went with Cincinnati on Gen Z, so I'll do it here too. And my only reasoning is because they're home. I think if the Bills were home, I would have picked the Bills. Bengals are home, I'm picking the Bengals. But I have no idea. This is truly a toss-up.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Hopefully, on paper, it looks like to be a great game. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype. And that wraps up this episode of The Hard Count. And Connie, where can the people find you?
Anthony Conover _ on Twitter has my link tree. That's where you can find Generational Sports. This wonderful program that I do with CJ called The Hard Count. Backstop Banter as well. And I'm also excited because I'm doing something new. So I always say I graduated. I always forget I'm a year younger than all my friends. So I went to school with my boy Kyle. Grew up with him. My brother grew up with his brother. They played baseball together. His brother Chris started a nice little network. They do a lot of news stuff, financial stuff as well. Do a little sports here and there. Doubted Views on YouTube. Go check them out. I'm starting up a show on Wednesdays with him. Me and one of their guys were pairing up together, doing a little sports gambling. He's going to take care of the gambling side. I'm going to kind of break down the actual sporting side of it. So we're going to be doing that every Wednesday now. So I'm excited to. Obviously, I'm staying here. I'm still doing all my other shows, but I'm kind of branching off a little bit as well. So I'm excited to announce that as well. So make sure you guys check out my social media. I'll make sure to be posting that. They're posting reels and chopping up stuff and making graphics for everybody. So hopefully I'll have a lot of stuff to post on social media as well. So make sure you take a look out for that and try and support your boy.
Yes, sir. Shout out my guy Connie, man. Level up, gang. Look out for him. What's it called? Doubted Views?
Doubted Views. Yes, sir.
Doubted Views on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe to that YouTube channel as well. Support our brother. You can find me at Linktree, CJames9. Everything I got going on. Count the Bucket on Sundays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Unwrapped Sports Network YouTube channel. Podcasts, streaming on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. If you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure you like the video. If you're new to this video, it's the first time seeing us, make sure you also like the video, subscribe,
yes,
hit
sir.
that notification bell. Helps us a lot. Helps us keep other people helps us keep people seeing this video and seeing us talk about what we love. So,
and one more thing, CJ. So once again, just a shout out to Bree for the new logo.
Yes,
love it. The new logo got the Twitter stuff going on. So shout out Bree one more time for all of our graphic design needs. But appreciate everybody for tuning in, as you guys always do. Perry, appreciate it. Christian, Gridiron. Obviously, we know we love having you in here. Vic was in here obviously before Matt was in here. Corey. So, like we say all the time, everybody who always comes and supports and listens to us babble on for hours upon hours. We appreciate it. And listen, everybody, y'all have a good one. Hope everybody's Christmas as well. Have a happy New Year. Next time we'll see you, it'll be 2023. So stay safe out there. Please do that. Number one though, stay safe. No risky driving out there. Don't be an idiot. It's a lot cheaper to call an Uber or a taxi than to be dead. So don't make a mistake. All right. But with all that being said, on a happy note, y'all have a happy New Year. Have a good week, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right.